Hello and welcome to Anime Dumpster Dive, where we go in-depth on an anime that's been considered trash by pretty much anybody. I'm your host and faithful virgin bitch, Jake H., and I am joined by my co-host and also a faithful virgin bitch, DJ,
Oh hey, baby.
and my other co-host and possibly also another faithful virgin bitch, Anthony.
Yo,
No, he's not.
yo,
You
I
ain't faithful.
absolutely am.
You ain't faithful.
Have you seen me? Have you heard me speak?
These hoes ain't loyal.
Oh, that's very true. That's very
These
true.
hoes ain't loyal.
You gotta keep an
Anthony's
eye
theme
on
song.
me. You gotta keep an eye on me.
Oh yes.
All right, I was trying to think of a question for you guys we do one at the beginning of every podcast for to let our audience know what kind of anime we're into. But with this one, I couldn't really think of a good question until like just right now. But
Okay. Okay.
tell me some of your guys' favorite ecchi like anime or like
Ooh.
scenes from an ecchi anime because
Ooh.
this show had some pretty ecchi scenes in it.
Yes, they did. Yes, it did. Oh, favorite etchy, huh? What what constitutes it an etchy again?
Just a show that's aimed for a more adult male audience.
Was there an uncensored version of this one? Because
No,
I couldn't find it.
at the end of the last episode it says uncensored on the DVD. This came out like 2 seasons ago, so the DVD won't be out until like next season, maybe even
Oh,
the
okay.
season
Well, it
after
is
that.
uncensored then.
There will be
Because
an
I
uncensored.
very noticed that it was
There
censored.
is yes, there is some very heavily censored scenes.
We could do a
Yeah, that was
redo,
steamy.
a redux of the uncensored version.
It was pretty steamy.
So,
I'd say that episodes of some instance of Soul Eater. Then, I mean, like the scene with Blair and Black Star. I thought that any time that they were on screen, I thought that that was hilarious. So that's probably I'd put it up there. That's probably one of my favorite ones.
okay.
And Soul, like when Soul and Black Star. Yeah, yeah.
For me, some of my favorite ecchi moments, weirdly enough, do not take place in the series itself. I really enjoyed the first season of Freezing because it balanced ecchi and fight scenes pretty well. And then the second season of Freezing kind of had like no ecchi scenes in it and was kind of just okay. But the OVAs of Freezing Vibrations is ridiculous, and those ecchi scenes are just terrible. And I loved every bit of it.
I
So
like
Yeah.
those ones because that's like Chiffon is. That's the only time she's like sexualizes in
are in the
the
OVAs, yeah.
OVAs. Most people wouldn't say that. Most people would be like, I hate it when they sexualize the characters. No, that's my favorite part, and that's why I like the OVAs with
I
Chiffon.
I like because like in like the first season, Chiffon has a line. It's like, now you'll know why I'm called like the relentless monster. And she uses that same line in an OVA, like in a sexual tense instead, where she's like, "Now
Oh,
you'll
that's
know why
perfect.
I'm called the relentless monster." And you're like,
I'll
"Oh."
relent her monster, if you know what I mean. She's my favorite.
She never opens her eyes.
That's why she's my favorite. No, she's my favorite because she's like I don't know. She's the strongest one, and she's the quiet one, and she's the like class president and shit. I don't know. I just like her.
Okay.
Her and that other one that I liked. I don't remember. I don't
Her-
remember reason much.
Oddly specific.
She was my
oddly
favorite, and my second favorite was that other character.
No, I get the
oddly
satellizer.
specific.
The other one was our red. No, the redhead was the evil girl. I didn't like her much. Or Vegeta. The redhead was Vegeta. I didn't like her much.
You don't like her? She had twin tails.
Yeah, she did.
So
That's probably why I didn't like her.
You bastard.
I rarely like Twin Tails. Only on Francois.
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 Et tu, Francois? All right. Now, if you couldn't guess from the opening introductions, the anime that we are going to be talking about today is My Girlfriend is a Faithful Virgin Bitch, or My Girlfriend is a Show Bitch.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
That is available on Amazon Prime.
I'm just saying, successful Anthony pick on this one. I don't want to jump the gun here.
God damn.
Anthony did pick this one. All right, I'll go ahead.
I don't want to jump the gun here.
All right, I'll go ahead and I'll set up the introduction. Haruka Shinozaki has been interested in the class representative Akiho Kawasaka for a while now. She is attractive and seems like a perfect student. He builds up the courage to ask her to be his girlfriend, and he is shocked because Kawasaka agrees. Is she everything she seems, or is there more to her than meets the eye? Let's dive on into My Girlfriend is a Faithful Virgin Bitch. So this was released in fall of 2017. It is based off the webcomic of the same name, written by Namiro Matsumoto. It is produced by Dio Medea, who also made Aho Girl, Akuma no Riddle, and Fuka. It is also produced, it had two studios, by Studio Blanc, who had like a bunch of just single episode anime that didn't really stand out to me. And it was directed by Nobuyashi Nagayama, who, again, I couldn't find anything. Like, he recorded, like, one other thing, and I think it was, like, he directed, like, one other thing, and it was, like, a single episode of a show.
I saw on Reddit, people were talking about the writer or the manga artist or somebody, and they were like, how's this? The guy was like, I didn't read the manga. How should I watch the anime? How is it? And he's like, they're like, well, I don't think the anime was out yet. And they were like, well, if it's anything like his previous work, it's going to be just a whole bunch of sexual innuendos. I was like, well, that was right. That was absolutely
correct. So let's go ahead and we're going to start off a spoiler-free pre-discussion on it. Like, let's talk about the main characters. Let's talk about Haruka first, the boy, DJ, main character.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right away, I already liked him. I liked him because he asked the girl out.
Yeah.
And
it's never that easy, right? If only, right?
As
far as we know, he's never even met this girl in his life, and she's just like, absolutely, I will go out with you. Well, fucking A. That's the first words I've ever said to you. This went surprisingly well.
He's like, that and nailed it. No,
No, I like him too. He doesn't give me any reason not to like him. I like him just fine.
I hate characters who, like he knows what he is. Like and I like that. I don't like the guys who are like, oh no, like a boob, and he's sitting there and he goes, stop talking about sexual stuff, and they're like, we're not, and he goes, oh no. I misunderstood.
They are, right?
But they are. But they are.
But they are. They absolutely are.
I think he's great. I feel like I connected with him a lot. Like he just seemed like a normal guy. Like he wasn't like too dense to the point where he was like an annoying like harem protagonist.
No, I agree.
Yep, I agree with that.
I didn't get why everyone wanted to bang him.
Well,
he's so nice.
Literally everybody, but you know.
Literally everybody. Well, not there.
His sister and his teacher and all the girls in the school.
Oh, no, I gotta talk. Let's talk about his sister, Kanata.
Who?
She was a cat hat.
I smiled every time she showed up on screen.
I like when they have the cat hats. It's cute.
I also don't think that she loves her brother in a sexual way. I straight up think it's little sister admiring her big brother kind of way.
True.
Well, that's what you would hope.
This anime,
but that's what you would hope.
It comes across as such.
The shows that we've done, though, however, would prove this otherwise.
I know. That's after watching your Arrow manga and Big Order. I thought, I was like, okay, I don't think she wants to bang her brother like those other characters.
It's like everybody in this anime wants to bang this guy, and they all do all these sexual innuendos, and so does his sister, but when she does it, it's cute. No, well, that's true. Jake's right. When she does it, it's not out of a sexual way. It's a cute way. But, you know, and the context clues state that maybe not have his sister flirt with him like that. You know, maybe.
Well, it's stuff
like every time she's on screen, she's laying on her stomach, showing up her butt. Like, what?
She shouldn't flirt with him like every other girl does, because every other girl is doing it in a different way.
I
than
think
her.
she gets betrayed by the director's choice of camera angles on her, where
He knows what he's doing.
if she's like laying on
Yeah,
the
you do.
bed, it's not a sexual way until that camera angle's like halfway up her ass. And
Yeah.
you go,
He's
"All
seen
right."
Haramanga Sensei. He knows what he's doing.
I thought it was funny because she'd say stuff like, "Big brother, I want you to teach me about insemination in your room tonight." And he's like, "What?" And she goes,
Yeah.
"Also, what's insemination? I need to know for biology class." And he's like, "Oh, okay." Again, I think
It's funny.
It's
It's funny. I get it.
It was funny, but I think that she was just like it was too cute.
Too
It was
cute.
way too cute.
I don't know if look, this guy's little sister trying to have sex with him. Just kidding. No, she's not. I don't know if that's that funny of a joke. But I did laugh when it happened.
You
so.
did laugh when it happened. Let's
is
talk
funny.
about another cute character and actually our main female protagonist, Akiho Kosaka.
She's great.
She
Oh,
is great.
perfect.
She's fantastic.
She's perfect.
She's a little weird. But she's
straight-
great.
She's grade A waifu material.
I would let her be my
Hands
girlfriend.
down.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Absolutely. I might add her to my best boobs list here.
Whoa.
Yeah,
She
wow.
got some nice ones. And she's very dedicated in using them correctly.
She just wants to be a good girlfriend, and like that's so pure and nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Just
yeah.
like me.
Her,
Just
her,
like me.
Well,
her
I just
thoughts
want to be a
are
good
not-
girlfriend.
Her thoughts are not pure and nice. But the meaning behind those thoughts are pure and nice.
yeah. Yeah.
We have the childhood friend. I can't. Anthony, you recall her name?
Oh gosh, she's the
name.
big sister
Amy?
of the anime.
Kanaka?
The heck is her name?
Kanaka?
Shizuku.
Ariyama. Shizuku Ariyama.
I wasn't fucking close.
You were saying the little sister's name.
Ah, okay.
She's a year older, and she's a childhood friend, and he kind of treats her like a big sister, and she kind of treats him like, I want to bang you, but I
Oh, yeah,
also
she
don't.
She trying to fuck.
But I
Yeah,
also
she's trying
am.
to get. Trying to
But
get
you're
it.
also in a relationship, so I'm not. But I,
I like
also
when she's
am.
like, "Ooh, remember when we used to wrestle? Oh, we got so close together and used to
Ooh.
pin me down." And then it cuts to it, and he's like, "Ah, let me go!"
He's like, remember all those times you used to ride me?
Yeah.
He's like,
He's like, this is a different. That was in a different connotation.
We were playing horsey.
she is like innuendo queen. Like constantly dropping innuendo.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We also get one of our other main cast, Rina Saijo, who's the transfer student.
She's the best.
She is great. She likes to be licked by hairy males.
Which was perfect.
Why would you say that?
Because I don't know.
Why would you word it that way? She's talking about dogs.
She is.
She's talking about cute puppy dogs. But she worded it that way because she exists in this anime world where everyone words things improperly and holds their baseball bats very strangely.
With two balls.
And everybody kneels. Everybody kneels in front of
best
people
fucking
too.
part.
Like when they speak to them in a very sentimental way, everybody gets on their knees as to make sure that they're right where
They eat
right
ice
to obscure and put the connotation out there.
Yeah, the...
cream. Eat ice cream in this anime.
Oh my gosh. That whole last episode.
Oh, it's perfect.
The I thought she was great. She comes from an all-girls school, so she wants to know how to make friends with gentlemen, but she does a pretty good job of making friends with girls the entire time.
She is she's pretty good. Pretty good.
We have, where is his name so I can say it right? Oh, wait, no. Oh yeah, Seiya Hashikawa, who is a very popular boy who's in their class.
That's the baseball
I
guy?
am sad
That is-
that they did not introduce sooner. I
He's
love
the
this
baseball guy.
guy.
He's my
I
fucking
love this
favorite.
guy so much.
He is baseball guy.
He makes it 10 times better.
He's a fun character, and we'll go more in depth on him in the spoiler zones. There's a few more characters, but they really don't play that big of a role, and we'll just talk about them when we go through the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So, first impressions on this, guys. What were your thoughts going into it? Like, when you just heard the name and you knew the premise, like, what were you thinking you were going to get?
Well,
I didn't have high hopes. I honestly didn't. I said that, you know what, I'm gonna pick a show that's on trend with the rest of our podcasts, and this is probably gonna be absolute garbage. I'm not gonna lie. After peeking at some of the reviews on my anime list and looking at some of the reviews, I think there's like only 5 reviews on on Amazon Prime Video. I didn't have high hopes. I honestly didn't. I thought it was going to be a campy mess. And boy, was I, half right.
I'm gonna come clean here, Jake.
All right.
I figured you out. I figured it out.
You figured it out.
This isn't an anime book club at all. We're watching bad animes every week, and I'm pretty sure it's on purpose.
Well,
So
get
now,
away.
because I figured this out,
Shit.
because I figured it out going into it, I thought it was going to be bad. I guess I was kind of right. It's like this anime's like
A banana.
if ecchi is orange flavoring and anime is soda, this anime is like an orange flavored LaCroix. So it's like it's got a little bit of flavor, like a little bit of orange in it, and then nothing else. And then other sodas taste better, and they taste more orangey, and they have other stuff going on in them, like sugar and fizz and stuff like that. It's an orange LaCroix. That's this anime.
All right. To keep mine short and to just compare it to anime, I was expecting.
Come on.
I was expecting Uramanga. I got Aho Girl instead.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I was looking right at DJ for his reaction to go. I know one of those things that he said.
That's pretty much a constant theme, though. Bananas. Bananas are.
I mean, I expected a like story-based show that would attempt to have like an attempt at a plot, and instead I got an episodic pure comedy.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
All right, so we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to throw up the spoiler now, and you can go ahead and skip to the end where we review it, or you can stick around. So let's go ahead and start now. Episode 1. We
Starting off strong.
We open up to a girl showing her crotch to a dude.
Yeah, that's the opening is very weird.
What a very strange
And
opening.
they don't give that up either. They're like, remember this scene? You're going to be seeing a lot of it, all right?
No,
Because the transitions for the rest of the anime
are
are her
obscure.
lifting her skirt up.
Yeah, that's very
Upstairs.
true. That's very true.
Which is funny. I like that. I think that's hilarious.
So
Yeah.
we're given a little bit of exposition here where he says that they're in the second year of high school and he's had a crush on this girl since his first year, and they're in the same class. So he said he's going to go for it. He's going to ask this girl out, and like almost immediately she's like yes.
Never spoken to her. Not that
Ever.
What a great reaction. Like, come on. What a lucky
She's
guy.
like, go. I will be the best girlfriend of all time.
He's like awesome. Let's do it. I'm going to be a really good girlfriend. And then
You're like, oh, okay. Well, I like where this is going.
And so I'm like, oh, she said yes. And then she's like, so tell me your fetishes so I can get used to them right
She's
now.
got no bed.
And I'm like, wait, what? And then the
0
opening
to 6?
starts. And then the opening starts, which has a crotch shot in it, has a chain shot in it, has a girl covered in whipped cream in it, and a bunch of naked girls on ice cream in it.
Which I'm excited. I'm very excited for the DVD release. Mostly for the opening.
No, I thought it
Mostly
was
for
good.
the opening and our I guess it's our obligatory bath episode because no anime is complete without a bath episode or a spa. What are they? Hot springs.
Hot spring.
Every single anime, a goddamn world has one. And
You're
this
jumping
anime,
ahead. You're jumping
this
ahead.
anime has,
Getting ahead of yourself here.
those are the 2 episodes I'm excited for the DVD release for.
Okay.
The opening in that episode later on.
We also get hit with rapid fire introductions of both the sister and the childhood friend.
Oh yeah, I was
Mhm.
like too many characters.
I thought great. I thought better than spending an episode introducing a fucking rival like for the first 5 episodes. He was like, here's a rival, here's a rival, here's another rival, and I'm like, okay, I'm over it.
Yeah, also better than, just showing us a class of 30 people and then not introducing us or slowly introducing us to all of them and then killing them off within seconds.
Yes.
So I'd say that I prefer this.
That's a great way.
I love.
No, I mean, I was like, I'm not gonna remember these people.
You don't anyway though.
I'd remember
you're,
them.
You're like the
Cat ears
you're
and
like the worst
brown
person
hair,
to
come
compare
on.
that to.
Cat ears and brown hair.
So you did remember them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did a good job.
I like what they did with the background characters. It's very similar to like Soul Eater, where
Yeah,
a person
yep.
doesn't become important until they're like not like if they're not colored, they're not an important character.
I like that.
So
It's better than this. I like the color scheme of it.
Mm-hmm.
The like Eastery pastels.
well, boys are blue, girls are pink.
Easy.
Yeah, when they're
Easy.
and they're like
Boom.
pastel, I like it. But when they're like blacked out all the way, I don't like that very much.
Shadow people? You don't like shadow people?
No,
you're
it's
more,
like,
like, you're
you
more
didn't even
pastel
finish
guy.
drawing
Huh?
that guy. You're like, you ain't finished drawing that guy. Come on.
Yeah,
Shadow.
I like
man.
that. I like that. It let us focus on the meme queen. Let us focus on the meme queen.
Speaking of memes, this whole series was filled with dank memes.
It is. It's 100% meme friendly. Bring your kids. Bring your family. It's gonna be great. You watch the show.
Don't do that.
It's gonna be
Don't
hilarious.
Don't bring your family. There's scenes where innocent stuff is happening, but it sounds like stuff where I'm like, fuck, no one.
I hope
walk in.
nobody heard that.
What's the middle screen called in an anime?
Eye catcher.
The fucking eye catchers in this anime. It's like, don't touch me there.
Well, how many times?
Like,
and
what the
like,
fuck?
I love those cuts. Like, I loved the fast little clips. It just shows you how much time that they were actually spending, on these little clips in between each of those little cuts. I loved every second of that. I thought it was hilarious.
Every episode was like 3 short stories. Like sometimes they were connected, sometimes they were not.
Some of them, were very not connected, but some of them were yes. Yes.
We get her at one point. She says something I really liked, where she's like, "All right, seriously though, about the fetishes, I'm going to need at least 4,000 words to describe your fetishes."
Yeah, he says, he's like, I'm not going to give you those, and she's like, also, you're going to have to be way less vague. I'm going to need at least 4,000 words.
She just instantly is like, I want to be this good girlfriend, and she's not doing it like in the creepy way where she's like obsessed with him. It's just like, hey, what do you like? So that way I know what you like.
When worded like that, that's a normal thing. That's
When worded the way I said it,
way.
but no, it's tell me what you like sexually so I can prepare my body and mind. Yeah, it's a little weirder when you say it
Straight to
that
the
way.
point.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm a fan.
It's very prevalent in this episode, and it's sprinkled throughout the rest of the season. She's like a natural dom,
Yeah.
and it's fantastic.
Well, I was going to ask you guys, what is M? What does that stand for?
Masochism.
Oh, the rest of those scenes make so much more sense now.
Making her sadist for the full S and M.
Yeah.
I thought that she was just defaulting to that because she thought that might be something he liked. I don't know if she's a natural.
No, I mean like she is defaulting to that, but she's just really naturally good at it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because she's like, oh wait, no, he's an M. She's like, go ahead and pick these up, pig. She's like, oh.
He's like, is there any?
There's a couple of times where that
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
She's like, is there any like funny nicknames I could give you? And then he's like, oh, I don't know, maybe blah blah. And then she's like, how about like scum or something like
Yeah.
that?
It's like, all the titles are super sexual. All the episode titles are super sexual. That's the eye catcher that DJ's talking about. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this is my first time having 2 at once or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like,
oh,
oh. Instead of like bam 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 bam, like your usual eye catcher, it's like
Yeah.
The childhood friend starting here kind of is the point where she's like saying all the sexual stuff.
Yeah.
And then she like she then like goes full bro. It's like, yeah, I want to eat your banana, and he's like, what? And she goes, I mean, like, you two should have lunch together without me here later, and like she leaves, and then it's like,
Strange girl.
are you what? Are you
I had flashbacks when she started broing it up too.
really?
One time I watched this anime where a girl was a
No.
real bro. That shit did not turn out well for her.
Didn't turn out for a lot of people involved.
Like, I was like,
I don't know what happens here. Maybe you guys can fill me in on the first episode. I just wrote, ha ha ha, like a ton in all caps, and then this whole scene in the storage room.
Is that where she meets him in there?
yeah,
she says Mimi in the
Yeah, I
storage
remember
room.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
she has all the stuff for possible
the-
fetishes.
yeah,
Yeah.
BDSM.
She's like, whoosh, whoosh. Are you ready? Whoosh.
He just shuts the door. He opens up the door and then he just shuts the door. Oh, it's perfect.
When he like imagines it, that's the funniest part.
Yeah, because he thinks it's gonna be nice and
Yeah.
Yeah.
intimate.
And,
And then it's,
and during that
yeah,
part, I'm
yeah.
like,
Typical.
is this how every high school is? Is this every? They just bang in the storage room? Is this a thing in Japan?
Who has access to just the storage room? Like, all of our storage rooms in high school were all closed and locked.
she is part of the student council, so I think she has keys to places.
Makes sense.
I also have she fantasized about making him come. I don't remember that part.
I do not remember this.
I can't remember that.
Oh, the same episode. He asks for a picture of her. This is how come I said I like him already.
Oh, yeah.
He says,
He
"Can
does.
I get a picture of you for my phone?" And she goes, "Oh, okay. So you can excite yourself later." And he goes, "No, just for a contact picture, maybe a
But
background."
don't worry. I've already taken lots of pictures for you.
She's like,
Of just my face? Let me see what I got.
she's like, "Here, I have one as if you have just finished or whatever on my face."
Yeah,
And he's like, "Oh
yeah.
no."
They don't hold back.
They don't.
were not holding back.
A lot happened in that first episode. Like, not a lot in like the plot wise, but just like a lot of gags like happened.
Yeah.
And then we get the ED, which is fucking cute. It's the main girls all like performing the number.
Yeah.
And then this is I'd say this is the only part of the show that I didn't like. It took me a long time to like understand what was going on. We kind of get like a weird like CD drama scenario at the end of every episode where like it's raining outside and they get stuck in a love hotel.
Oh yeah. It's like a separate plot going on. It's if I had to guess, it's probably some sort of fantasy. I would have to assume.
Well, it's
right? Because
the way it ends, it's a pretty lame fantasy for a dude to have.
hey, he actually, it was perfect. It was perfect. It was everything that they both wanted.
The first time it was like, oh yeah, okay, they met up again, and then the second time I was like, oh, this is a thing. This is one of those things like in Killing Bites. It's like, oh, this is one of them after credits things that doesn't really actually affect anything.
Yeah.
But the first time I was like, oh, after
Yeah,
credits.
I thought that's
what's going on.
I thought next episode was going to continue from that.
I thought so too. I was
They had
severely
that
disappointed,
in
though.
Future Diary as well.
Mm-hmm.
Did the same exact thing to me. I was like, ooh, next episode's going to be like this, and then
Yeah.
didn't do anything. Not a thing.
So we get to next episode, and it's one of the more dorky gags. This is our first like episodic anime where we like each episode's pretty much contained
within the episode.
Within the episode, and then like the only thing that's like kind of transfers over is how close they get, like the couple gets, and like the friends they make.
I don't know. I feel like they start out pretty close and they end kind of the same.
There was progress.
I don't know. I feel like they grow. They definitely.
In the beginning, they
definitely
seem to
feel like
really
they grow.
each other. And then they really like each other the whole way through.
Well, I mean, they grow to
Typical.
understand what they like about each other throughout.
Yeah.
It's not it. We'll talk about it when we get there, but I believe the last episode did that whole idea beautifully. This episode really heavily focuses at the beginning with his sister, and this is so refreshing again after coming from some fucking crap anime, man, where he he has no sexual attraction to his sister at all.
Thank God.
He's just
Thank
like,
God.
she's like, you got to give me head pats, and he's like, pat, pat.
Pat, pat, pat.
He's like, pat, pat. He's like, you like that? She's like, yeah. He goes, all right. Now I got to study. Can you please leave my room?
I know. I think it was tarnished. I think those scenes were tarnished for me because I was expecting something absolutely worse.
I think
Anthony.
I think they're just it's cute sibling interactions because I did not get what DJ was saying about his like sister even flirting like sexually. For me, I think
it's not that. It's like
she's not flirting with her brother like at all.
Yeah, I know,
It's all
but
like admiration. Like
it's
she's like,
not that it's sexual. It's that why have that in an anime where everyone else is flirting with him sexually?
it's because his girlfriend, and like all these other characters love him differently, and so for me, I believe that's all these different types of love, like that you see. Like I might be thinking way too into this, but each character is a different form of love, and so his sister is that sibling love, and that's how come she's always like, but she's also tsundere as fuck.
But she also says things that trick you.
I think that she
That's
says
what I'm
them out of
I'm talking about the switcheroos they pull. That's
She
what
says
they
them
shouldn't
out
be
of
doing.
her own ignorance.
Yeah, I was just about to say, more so out of ignorance than anything.
It's not like she's trying to lead her brother on or anything. It's like,
Yeah, idiot.
it's the one parts where it's like, I think one of my favorite parts is like, I'll eat lunch with you. And he goes, but I'm eating lunch with my girlfriend. And she goes,
She's like,
so you're not lonely. Guess I won't eat lunch with you then, loser. There's a part where she gets a little jealous that like, she gets a little jealous that Kosaka is gonna take her brother away from her, and so she's like, oh, I'll never spend time with my brother anymore, and she like pushes Kosaka a little bit, and Kosaka fucking flies to the ground. I'm like, she's made out of air.
Yeah.
And then this part I really liked because again it shows how great Kosaka is she gets up and like the sister thinks she's gonna be mad. And she's like, and Kosaka is mad, but not at the sister, but at herself because she unconsciously covered her crotch when she was getting up. And she goes, oh no, I missed out on doing the Lucky Pervert event.
Yeah, he could have looked at me.
You could have looked at my underwear. I'm so sorry.
I like those little bits of dialogue too that they have where she's like speaking like that and then just out of nowhere he'll go, please stop saying that. Please don't say it that way.
Let's change the subject. Or conversation stops now.
Yeah.
He seems like he's the only person that like catches on to the innuendos before people say them.
He is. There's parts where he's like, can we not say it like that?
Yeah.
Or he'll do other things.
They're
why
like,
did
do
you
you
have
want
to
to
say it that
take
way?
me in my back door tonight? And he's like, well, I don't know what you're talking about, but that's
Like,
not
couldn't
the way
I
you
just
should
come
say
in
it."
through the front door? And they
There's
go,
only
you want to come in through the front door?
there's only one character that he does not understand the innuendos from. He understands the innuendos from everybody else, but there's one character that they just go over his head.
Yeah.
And we'll get to him later.
You said your bro. He's so
Good old.
Good old.
They should have introduced him like now. They should have introduced him now.
I even wrote, I'm like, where's this guy been? Like,
Yeah.
why is it?
Oh yeah.
Because it's not even like he's from a different class. He's in their class.
I think it's so much better.
He
They don't
just
even
shows up,
explain
he's like,
why
"I
he's
heard
not
you
there
like
before
this."
that either. It's just like winter happens and he hibernates. Same through spring, and then he wakes in summer.
We get a couple of references in this episode too. We get a JoJo face at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And his girlfriend tries to make him food, and she's the anime trope of pretty girl can't cook.
Yeah.
And so
the
it's
demon
like
food sitting on the
speaking.
bench like,
It's like, what do you want? Like, tell me your desires. She's like, don't eat this. And then the eye catcher is like it coming out, and it's Kyubi from Madoka Magica. I'm like, fucking A. I'm like,
I love her blue aura angriness.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like when the girls gets too close, other girls get too close to him. She's like, "Grr."
well, like she's never like fully angry, which is another thing I like. She's not like, I'm gonna beat you up if you talk
Yeah.
to that girl, it's,
No, she's saying stuff that's nice, but like she's got her little
yeah, she's
aura.
got the aura. She's like, I like this because there's some fucking dirty ass jokes and
Yeah.
there's some lewd ass scenes.
Yeah,
But it's so wholesome in between those parts because it's just
She's
like,
trying just as hard to make him good food as she is to find his fetishes. And
exactly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She is just
They
trying
have one speed. They
be
have one speed.
good.
Yeah.
The next episode, which I thought was different, is that we get introduced to her parents.
yeah, moving a little quick, are we?
So cool. That's
Okay.
so cool. They actually exist.
I know.
It
Adults,
is- I
adults
loved
besides
that.
the teacher and the nurse exist.
I loved that.
Yeah, I love
When was
that.
the last time we had parents that existed? Fucking handshakers, right?
Yeah, they were there for kinda, and then he yells at them.
His dad exists, right?
Yeah,
Both his
I
parents
guess.
exist in hand.
Yeah, and then he has to bathe her without. Yeah.
No, the previous one we just watched.
They were. Well, he was.
Freaking Big Order. Big Order
did
had
have parents.
Big Papa, Big Daddy.
Oh well, that's like in the plot. Though. That's not the same.
What are
We're
you
talking about
talking
an
about?
anime where they don't really have to have the parents in it, and they still do.
I mean, like
Like
King's
this-
Game King's Game is a prime example of a anime that
Why aren't there
there
parents
should be
yet?
more adults.
They're in somebody's house at night, and there's still no adults there. It's like
There's adults like in episode 1, and he like pushes past them to get to their kid who's
Yeah.
like killing himself.
Yeah.
Fucking King's Game.
He opens up the closet. The kid put his fucking sweater on before he hung himself. It's like,
He's like, I don't want to be cold.
then they'll know me from my sweater. Gotta
oh,
wear my
man.
Sunday
Show was
best.
so
No, yeah, I thought it was cool that the parents are in it. Thought they're moving a little fast for
So,
know
this
meeting
is
the
perfect.
parents.
This is perfect.
I don't know how long has happened. Like how
That's true.
The problem with like an episodic anime like this is like, is this day 2 of their relationship, or is this like a month
Yeah.
down the line?
It's day 2 to me.
Thankfully, they do show some semblance of like showing us the seasons and stuff like that, and one of the cherry blossoms and everything, and then it progresses into summer and stuff. So, I mean, they definitely give us a timeline, but currently, yeah, no, I agree. I have no idea in as far as timeline is concerned. How long has it been? My favorite part about these parents, though, is that it's a complete mirror.
Yes, they are a mirror couple.
Yeah.
Of,
Oh man,
of the
it
main
is.
couple.
Oh, it is so perfect.
The dad is possibly one of my favorite anime dads.
I like them.
He's
Oh,
fantastic.
but he's perfect.
Because he's very similar. He just wants to be a good dad.
He's like her, but being a
Yeah.
dad.
Oh yeah.
The mom is you get where her wording and like where her knowledge of like relationships comes from like the way the mom talks. Like the mom has to entertain him. The dad, I felt so connected to an anime character because the mom's already talking to him, and the dad like looks through the window and he sees that he's already there. He's like, oh, "You got here early. It's too late for me to introduce myself now. I gotta hang out outside."
he came on screen. He came on screen, and he gave a couple of his lines, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is Jake as just now. This is Jake now."
It's like, oh no, I can't enter. He's been here for how long now? I can't go inside.
I forgot why I was like I remember I liked the dad, but I don't remember why. And then Jake brought that up. I'm like, that was it. That's the one.
Just like I can't go in there.
It just reminds me of every like overthinker I've ever met in my entire life.
They do the flashbacks.
Well, I better go. I better leave. I better leave.
Yep.
They do the flashbacks of when Kasako was a little girl. And he says, "Yeah, her mom was always focused on education at an early age." It's like 5 years old, 1 year old.
Yeah, it's,
And then she starts like going over.
she's like crying, and she's like, "Don't cry. You should cry when you tear your hymen." And he's like, "Stop." He's like, "Stop talking."
Her,
Or when she's playing with the teddy bear. Yeah.
With the teddy bear with human legs. It's such a weird toy.
I didn't understand that. I thought it was an actual dog. I was like, what the hell is this?
She's raising her hips to better ease the man in. She has natural talent. I'm like, oh my Stop looking at your
And
child.
he comes back on screen like, she's only 1 year old.
But it's like, they say you're like your parents, and this girl is, I feel like they split her personality into two well and gave both her traits to
Yes.
her parents.
Her parents, yeah.
Her mom's like, so, what kind of sex do you like to have with my daughter? Like,
Yeah.
and the dad's like overthinking things, like when she's like, oh no, I've ruined everything. He won't love me anymore. That's how the dad is.
Yes. The
I think they try. Do they try to make the mom like? They try to make the mom like more sarcastic, right? In that tone, as opposed to Kasaka, who's a little bit more serious in her tone.
there is an episode.
She's definitely like innuendo-y though, and sexual.
Well, there's an episode where she even says, because she says another sexual thing, and her husband like looks at her and she goes, "I just realized I'm not very good at showing off sarcasm."
Yeah.
And so it's probably like, oh, has she been sarcastic the entire time we've seen?
Yeah,
her?
yeah. That's what popped that idea into my head. Was like, I can't, just rethinking on it. I just can't. I mean, I would hope, but you never know. This anime had shown me nothing but.
One of the parts I thought was funny is apparently some food in like Japan is also like known for like sexual acts. And so
Noodles?
like, the noodles or whatever is like to have like two women in a bath or whatever.
I thought it was like a mother-daughter type
well,
of
that's
deal.
what it was like. Oh, you want a mother-daughter like something? And he's like, what? No. And then him and the dad like bond really quickly. Like they both like, oh, you know what it is, like how it's to deal with a crazy woman. And then both the women are like, oh, that's the type he wants.
And then I love the voiceover too, and in the dad's voice it goes, "Oh yeah."
That's my favorite running joke in the entire show. Is the
It's perfect.
So after the family meeting, we get her, and she's watching a video on head tilting, like it will make you cuter, and so she figures out that a 30-degree angle is the best result.
It's the ideal.
And I'm like, oh, that's funny. She's gonna do it, and he's not gonna notice. And then she opens up the door and tilts her head at 30 degrees, and he's like, "Oh!"
He gives a good Garrison response. That's a good Garrison response.
Yeah, so she hits him with a 30 degrees, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but the rest of that date, she has her head at 30 degrees.
Tilted, yeah.
Yeah, she
tilted
has
until something happens.
This is
right?
one of the first episodes where they split it all. It's kind of split to me. This is the first time I noticed it. That it's like, it's almost like classic cartoons where you would have two episodes in one 30-minute episode. But it's like sometimes they have a theme throughout the whole three little like vignettes. But this one's like, it's like, oh, we're meeting our parents, but now we're going on our first date. And it's pretty separate.
Yeah.
And that happens often, even more noticeably later on.
Yeah,
as well.
there's like some where it's like not even the same characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're on their first date, and the entire time... So before she leaves, the mom's like, use this time to get like up close and personal, like in the movie theater.
My daughter.
Yeah.
No, she's still in the daughter do. She's like, fucking grab it. Like during the movie, grab his dick. And she's like, what? All right, you got it, Mom.
I just told him to put his dick in the popcorn, so you got to grab the popcorn, okay? You guys are going to have a good time.
Well, then she ruins the whole thing because they go watch an overly sexual movie.
Yeah,
And so she starts taking notes on what to do. And then
I feel like that's the only type of movie in this world.
She gets so upset. She's like, oh my god, I forgot to try something because I was too busy taking notes.
Yeah. That's when she puts her head back to normal. That's when her head like snaps back to normal.
No.
It's upset. She's like missed an opportunity with him, right? She's like, oh, I could have done. Yeah.
He says something here because she has this thing in her head, and he's not understanding. I can't remember what it is exactly, but he's like, she has a very lewd thought in her head, and he's not quite understanding like what she means, and so he just goes, "Oh no, it's okay." And she goes, "Oh, really? Oh, okay then." And then he goes, "I think my modesty has betrayed me." And I'm like, that's my new catchphrase. I can't remember what it was, but it was like one of those ones where like she was thinking like a super dirty thought, and then he just is like...
Was it during that episode?
Huh? Yeah, it was during this one. It was right before she gets sick.
Mm.
And so it's something about like how I can't remember. I'll have to see.
I can't remember it either.
Yeah, so she ends up getting he makes another plan to go watch the cherry blossoms with her.
Mm-hmm.
And she ends up getting sick. And
Which I couldn't remember the anime that had that same promise in it.
to go watch the cherry blossoms?
Did we watch it?
Together. I don't know if it was on this or it was another one I watched. But it's a guy promises a girl, he's like, yeah, we'll watch the cherry blossoms together. And then I believe some shit goes down and they never get to watch the cherry blossoms together.
Well, watching the cherry blossoms is like a really romantic Japanese thing. Like,
Yeah.
a bunch of anime have
Just like the bonfire dance.
bonfire dance.
Is that a
school
real
roof,
thing? I don't think that's a real thing.
No, it's not. I don't think.
School roof, everything.
Wait, was
Meeting-
that? Oh yeah, that was school days, right? Yeah. No school roof in this one, guys.
Yeah.
They eat lunch on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like the other
The
school
only
roof.
reason it doesn't look like the other school roofs is because there's a garden up there.
That might be it.
But there's
And the
definitely
big
a fence.
tree?
There's definitely a
Yeah,
fence
there's a
around
big
it.
tree.
Yeah, but it's not a bleachers at a fence. It's
It's not
good.
bleachers and a fence.
They
yes.
worked. This is the fancy school.
This school is like, we're putting up fucking trees and a fence. And
Yeah, we're putting
flowers.
up trees
And
and flowers. No one's gonna know this is a roof.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets sick, and she gets, like, really depraved, like, when she's, like, sick. And so one character I didn't like in this whole show. There's only one character I didn't like in this whole show, and we meet her here, and that's the nurse.
It was like, why put her in this? You know, she's like,
Why
she
have...
skeezes me out.
Why... Well, I mean, like, one, this woman should have been fired. Right
Oh,
First line she says, because him and Kosaka show up, and she goes, "All right, you guys can use one of the beds, but over an hour I'm gonna have to charge you." He goes, "What?" And he goes, "I don't
What?
charge." She's like, "I don't take money from students. They pay me with their bodies." And I'm like, fire her.
No, it's ba-di.
This is the first time. I'm pretty sure there was times where the teacher lady would be like flirting with everyone before this. This is the first time I noticed it from an adult. I was like, "Whoa, the adults too?" I was like, "Come on! Like, what is this?"
Yep. But then you find out she's just been doing it to everybody.
Everybody. It's
Yeah.
not just him. And she's
just
just
really-
she's
she's
pure
ready.
sexual. Also, speaking of pure sexual, at one point he starts giving her tea to drink, and she spills it on herself because she's all sick, and she's like, "Oh no!"
I spilled all over me.
And he goes, and he's like, "No, let me do it for you." And she goes, "Oh, you're into water sports, okay?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Just give me a second to prepare myself." And he's like, "No, I'm not into that." And then Mom walks in, and she goes,
Yeah.
"Water sports."
In a place like
I
this.
discovered it. I discovered what he's into.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of walking in on people in this anime too.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh,
they didn't want you to feel alone when you got walked in on watching this show.
Mhm,
That's-
mhm.
yeah, there
That's
you
the
go.
fucking truth right
The
there.
characters have it happen too.
right. Someone walks in and right as the lady goes, "Oh, water sports."
You're like, no.
Damn son, my damn son's watching them water sport animes again.
She eventually gets better and they go see the cherry blossoms, but they couldn't because it rained like all week, I guess.
And they're dead.
But he makes the promise.
Everyone's out there.
He makes the promise to go see the cherry blossoms with her next year, and
Every tree's dead.
she's like, oh.
She thinks, she
So
thinks
cute.
that they're gonna. She thinks they're. Well, at first she thinks they're gonna break up.
yeah, because
Like, we'll just try again next year. Then he's like, no. Like, I want to,
like you and me will
like
try.
you
again
and
next
me, we'll see this next year. She's like, together for a whole year. It was cute.
It was
It was-
cute.
Yeah. At first she thinks it's like, he's like, we'll try again with our relationship next year because we're over. Because the cherry blossoms are
Just
over.
like the cherry
Because-
blossoms, our relationships are over.
Because our relationship is drowned in the rain, just like the cherry blossoms.
So we get the next episode, and that's where we get introduced to Rena.
Who's that girl?
And
It's Rena.
right off the bat, Rena is popular with the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
because she's from an all-girls school. But then that gets turned around really quickly because she says, when she introduces herself, that she likes to romp with hairy males.
I like to romp
In
around.
front of the whole class.
In front of the
Hairy male.
whole class. And everyone's like, this is a girl's fucking weird. Except for our main characters.
It's the classic. It's the classic, like, every single movie you've ever seen, like, the new student, it's like, all right, well, come up here and introduce yourself to the class. And she's like, hi, I'm Rena. I'm from an all-girls school, and I'm just really excited to be able to come here and romp with lots of hairy males. And you're like, what the fuck?
She means dogs.
She means dogs. She
Why
meant
would
dogs.
she say that way? Yeah, I don't know.
Which, if I had the same dog that she did, I'd give it up. I'd give it away.
I know this is jumping ahead, but her dogs are named Butter and like Margarine or whatever.
Margarine.
I believe, if I recall correctly, a term for a dog that is like known to like pleasure lonely women is called like a butter dog.
God.
No, that's
I
not real.
believe-
Maybe that's what she does with her dog.
Because
That's not real.
In Gantz, there's a dog that keeps going after one of the girls' crotch, and the machine calls it Butter Dog.
Butter dog?
And they go, that's reasonable. And so I'm like, what? I have never had the heart to look it up. But
What?
just,
Huh?
that's 2 in a row.
Risky click.
That's 2 in a row. I mean, 2 animes that involve a dog licking a girl's thighs that have butter as a reference, so it has to mean something.
You said 2 animes in a row, and I was thinking back to our last anime.
No,
There was
2
no dog.
I'm like, 2
licking a
anime
girl's
for me.
thighs.
2 anime
Yeah, I
for
get
me.
Go ahead and, just for everybody's sake, you just go ahead and go on to Urban Dictionary, look up butter dog. And, Jake's not wrong.
Hey! Detective! I did it. Finally made it.
It's the best detective.
All right.
Oh, I'll leave. Yeah, they really get into it.
So fuck, what did they go to the nurse? I don't know why. I have some of my notes make no sense because I was really into I enjoyed watching the show, and so I'm sitting there watching the show, and because I don't want to miss a joke, and then I write I quickly type don't ask the nurse, and I don't know what they went to ask the nurse about, but it's just horrible. Probably something sexual, and the nurse is probably
Probably.
Yeah,
I don't
guys,
remember.
don't look that up.
DJ looks like shocked.
It's exactly as Jake described, in case you were wondering.
I said that already. It's my joke.
Is Rena's dogs? Those are like the lion, tiny face dogs, right?
Yeah,
Shih Tzus?
they're like the
They look surprisingly close to the demons from fucking
Magical girl.
Magical
already.
Girl Orway.
Oh yeah.
I was
Even some of
like,
the facial expressions. Oh man,
Yeah,
we're getting way ahead. But
you better watch out for those dogs.
he looks at
Yeah, he looks at
our main character's crotch.
and just goes like, nah. yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
He's like, did he just scoff at me?
You don't have enough butter.
He's like,
He's like,
basically everyone in our main cast except for the sister start talking about why can't I remember his name? We were just literally talking about him.
Haruku.
Yeah, we start talking about Haruku's sexual interest. And the entire class is listening. And then this comes out of nowhere. And his girlfriend goes, hey, all that is, he's not unfaithful to me like everyone's thinking. Because I know the only thing that turns him on is being
He's a
completely
lolly.
naked with a grade schooler hat. Because he's a lolly pedo pervert. And he looks at her, and it has, and that day, has died. He has died. And I went, yeah.
And on that day, Haruku died.
Right there, I was like, is she trying to get everyone off his back by lying, or does she believe she's finally gotten down to the bottom of what he enjoys?
Yeah,
I think it's more truthfully that.
I think she basically played a game of like was trying stuff and he just was being modest. And so she's like, oh, he's not into that. He's not into that. This is the only stuff I haven't done yet. So he has to be.
He has to be into it. That lolly stuff.
While they're introducing Rena throughout the school, they're looking at the like food vending machine. And Rena goes, oh, so are you a B or are you a C? Because like they're like meal B, meal C.
You'll see.
And she goes, I'm a little over a C.
She's like, "We're gonna see." And I'm like, how is it?
There was
Okay,
another bit
I
of
get it.
dialogue where
She was talking about her boobs.
Uh-huh.
that's explained.
Rena
That's
wasn't.
explained. He comes in with that little bit of dialogue, like, "Oh my God, this is not what she meant. She was talking about lunch."
And then
When
Rena
I heard it, I was like, what? Is she saying she likes to eat more than a C? Like,
yeah.
I'm so used to her having sexual innuendos come out of her mouth. I thought she was being innocent again, but she wasn't.
And then
That time.
Rena being like all girls school, like she was like all girls school like player, where she like she got with a bunch of girls, and so she's like, ooh, more than a C, I wanna feel, and then
She goes fucking for
she
it.
goes for it, and then Shizuku, who's our flat-chested character of the series, is upset because she's flat-chested. And she's like,
That reminds me of
Like, could you show me how to do it?
in
It's
the
like,
anime with Aichan in it. There's like her best friend, Aichan's best friend at school, grabs her tits like that all the fucking time, the exact same way, like from behind.
from beyond. That's the move.
That's the fucking move.
At one point they talk to Rena about like what Rena likes doing, and she's like, "Oh, I like walking my dogs," and he goes, "Hey, that'd be a neat thing for us to do," and his girlfriend's like, "Oh, well, can we wait?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "Well, I
I don't have any butter.
I have to get it measured," and he's like, "What?" And she's like, "I gotta get a collar fitted," and he's like, "No, not again."
I can't.
Not what I'm into.
These dogs have been ruined for me now. I can't.
You're still on that page? Close your
I know,
browser.
dude.
I'm
What
not
are you
reading it
doing?
anymore. I'm just thinking about why she won't, like, she can't go walk the dogs. She doesn't have enough butter yet.
Gross. Stop saying stuff. Then they
Rena is at the school though. She wants to hang out with
More men.
yeah. She wants to hang out with him and his girlfriend because she wants to learn about like dudes because she was the playa at the all girls school and now she's trying to get in with the guys. She's trying to that's her new thing, her new deal.
Uh-huh.
But she's not very good at it.
She's not. She can't help herself from picking
Yeah,
up
she's
ladies.
too busy. Sweeping the ladies off their feet.
Then they decide to go to the zoo at the same time. Like every character decides to go to the zoo. Like
Yeah.
It's zoo day.
it is. It's zoo day because the animals are mating.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
everyone wants
Like
to go.
everybody.
We find out
Everybody.
that the animals are mating because mom calls and
She goes, they said they're mating. He goes, good. Ask if they're open.
Isn't there part with like not only are all the characters at the zoo, but they don't interact.
The group that interacts is her parents and his sister. Like
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
Because
because Kanata
they call them and they're like, "Hey, we're also here," and it's like, "What the fuck?"
yeah Kanata goes, oh look, these animals are known for their mating prowess, and we're introduced to Kanata's friend, who until I learned her name I just referred to her as the poor girl because she's so pure and just
yes.
she has dirty thoughts sometimes and they leak out and then
Ew! Please don't say that again,
Sorry.
Jake.
So she's like, Kanata, you can't be talking about animals' mating prowess. And then the girlfriend's mom goes up and she goes, hey, look, honey, these animals are known for their mating prowess. And she goes, oh, okay, maybe it is cool. Maybe we should observe these animals and their mating prowess. And Kanata goes, what is mating?
She just walks away.
Yeah. She's like, oh no.
Oh, why is there a whole dialogue like? Oh,
I loved it. I loved every second of it. I
their
loved every
mating
second of it.
prowess. What kind of animals were they? You think?
They were like a baboon.
Yeah,
Baboons.
probably macaques.
Macaques.
They're macaques.
They're macaques.
They're mating prowess.
So we get on to the next episode,
It will.
and at one point, something here is even the innuendos aren't limited to verbal dialogue.
Yeah.
Example here is his pencil runs out of lead, and she says her
Wink,
girlfriend intuition to know that he needs lead, and he goes, "Here, I got you lead," and he's like, "Oh, thanks." She uses .69 lead. I'm like,
That's smart.
This one's another one where it's super split up.
Like
The last one was only kind of split up. This one's like super split up.
Well, yeah, we get a series of like adventures with the main cast, all trying to like raise their specific. Here is where I say that they represent all different types of love. Is that she like the girlfriend goes, "Oh, I'm gonna use my girlfriend like senses to. I'm gonna try to raise my girlfriend intuition."
Mm-hmm.
And the childhood friend's like, "I'm gonna use this to raise my big sister intuition."
Yeah.
And then then Rena goes, "I'm going to use this to raise my friendship intuition." And so it's like all these girls basically, like they all love him, but not necessarily all in the sexual way. The childhood friend is a toss-up, but I don't think Rena has any sexual feelings for him
Because she likes chicks.
because she likes chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I can. Yeah.
We
Childhood friend, she likes.
she likes him. She likes him.
Yeah.
But we also get introduced to the president.
Yeah. What was her name? Izagori or something like
Yeah,
that?
it's like Isago, something.
I was confused because I thought Aiko was the class president up until this point.
She's class.
I also
class rep.
she's
For
the class
class
rep
3.
for class 3.
Yes.
And at the beginning of this, I was like, what? That's why I liked her, because she was the student council president. But then she's not, and I was like, oh.
And we get that fuck, I keep forgetting her name. Aiko. Yeah, DJ just said it. Kosaka. That's why I don't know her first and last name. Kosaka.
That's the dude. That's the boy, right?
Is the girl.
Oh yeah.
Haruka is the Shinozaki. Yeah. So Kosaka, we found out she's kind of a troublemaker on the student council. Not necessarily like on purpose, but because her head's always like in the gutter. So they're like, oh well, the boys are a little upset that the girls are the only ones with a changing room, so we should get the boys a changing room. She goes, oh, you'd let the boys have a room where they could relieve themselves?
Yeah.
Well, when you say it that way, probably not.
I mean, ideally, that's not what they're going to be doing in there.
Be changing, but okay.
Fucking. Then we're introduced to also another character too during this time, and it's Sayo.
The
Shizumori, the bang girl.
Yes, the voyeur
Girl with the bangs. Yeah.
She just likes to watch.
Oh, she's perfect. She also is perfect. So she's so creepy.
She is. You can tell right away in that episode that she kind of has like a thing for like the president. Where she's like, oh, hey, how's it going for you? Also, the other two members of the council are
dudes.
Are dudes who Anthony, like DJ probably won't get this, but Anthony, come on, that's young All Might and young Eraserhead.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
When I was looking at it, I was like, when they went through to show the rest of the student council, I was like, this could be a whole nother fucking show. Look at that guy. What the fuck? Why is he wearing a mask?
He's either some like freaking nerd who like thinks he has dark powers, or he's sick all the time.
Remember the strange mask?
He's got like the bandage on, and then of course All Might, like that guy had way too much spunk for the whole fucking class.
He's like, I like being part of the class, guys. How's everyone doing? Fucking.
Did he speak English?
No,
I know All Might speak
I wanted
English.
him to. I wanted to be like,
Should've.
nice, okay. Yeah, Anthony Igarashi is the.
Igarashi, yeah. And then the best episode of the.
Hold on, we got to finish this part because Kanata's friend
We
buys condoms.
we get the fucking screenshot
Why did
Screenshot.
why did they spend so long on this part? Like, I got that it was kind of cute, but
I love this
you know what I'm
part.
talking about.
It's,
this part made me so uncomfortable. This part, out of all of it, ooh.
I laughed my ass off. I
I
no
did
longer
that.
have an ass because I laughed it off. Because she gets the chocolate flavored condoms, thinking
Yeah.
because initially she's like, "Oh, these are chocolate flavored condoms."
No. Kanata had it in her bag, right? And was like, "Oh, I don't want this." And then she
She
sets
puts it on the
shelf.
thing, and then she looks over and she goes, "Why are chocolate flavored condoms here?" Oh wait, they're in the candy section. They must actually be candy.
And then screenshot, new background.
What? The...
When it's halfway in her mouth, it's just like looking.
Oh yeah, and she's looking.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's how you eat fucking candy.
Well, no, that's the guy's idea because the guy knows they're condoms.
Yeah.
She goes, "I'm gonna eat them all up." He goes, "Do you want me to?"
He's like, ooh.
He's like, "Do you want me to put them in a paper bag?" She goes, "No, I'm gonna use them all at school. I'm gonna eat them all at school." And he's like,
His nose explodes.
He's like, "Enjoy your meal."
That was a weird interaction.
That guy's life has changed.
And then what I liked is she goes there and she goes, "Hey, let's all use these."
And
basically.
ending scene, yeah.
And her other friends are like, "But what?"
Yeah.
And then it's like her smile was then replaced with a stained tear, like a tear stained face. I'm like, "Oh no, this poor girl."
Oh, it was perfect. It was perfect.
Okay.
And then the silence drops. And then out of nowhere you hear thousands of girls cheering for
Yes.
one man.
For our next episode,
My boy.
My boy,
Hoshikawa. Hoshikawa, the
Say ya,
The boy.
Hoshikawa.
gosh. So,
So perfect.
at one point, he sees Hoshikawa talking to his girlfriend, so he's like, "Oh no, like all women love him. What if she likes him? Like, oh no, this is terrifying." And so then he grabs the nearest person, and it's his childhood friend, who's like the worst
It
person
was
to
like
talk
trying
to.
to sneak up on him or something like that.
And so she's like like you and I are friends, are close friends. How normal is it? How far do we go as normal friends? Is a hug normal? And he like weirdly hugs her. She's like,
"This is creepy. This is creepy."
She's like, "Don't go." And then she says like something, and he goes, "All the way is as far as you'd go with a close friend." And
He's
then,
like, absolutely.
It's getting pretty school daisy right now. I don't like this. I don't
And
like
then-
where this is going.
and then Rena shows up, and Rena's like, "Hey, how's it going? What's everyone looking at over there?" And then finally he sits there, and this is again why I like him, is that he
Throws a
doesn't.
pair.
This isn't a like drawn out part where it's like, oh, what he's going to be worried about this the entire time. He goes, "Hey, you know what? If we're in a relationship, she's a pretty girl. People are going to tell her that they like her. I have to get used to that."
Yep.
So he goes, "I'm going to go over there. I'm going to ask what's going on." Then he walks over there and he goes, "Hey, is it cool if you guys probably tell me maybe what you guys are talking about right now, I
Maybe.
think, if that's okay
Yeah.
with you?"
Yeah.
And
Then he freaks out, realizes true intentions.
and then he,
Well, he barking up the wrong tree with that one. I'm pretty sure, man.
we find out that
I think you got to worry
Hoshikawa-
about that guy and your girlfriend.
Yeah, Hoshikawa isn't attracted to his girlfriend. He's just heard amazing things about him, so he wants to be friends with him because he doesn't have a lot of guy friends. And then the entire time he's explaining this, though,
These butterflies are kissing right in front of his crotch.
These butterflies are kissing, and he's stretching, and the clouds are forming into two male symbols intersecting with each other.
And that's just how this guy like always moves. Almost.
It is.
Yeah.
Like he's always stretching sexually. Like he's always like that.
Oh, he's
He's-
perfect.
Well,
He's perfect.
in the background, when our main character is having his freak out, he's in different sexual positions as well. Like there's one part where his full chest is exposed, and he's like, "Oh."
The best one's later. My favorite part of the anime. is
Well, at this point,
He's like, "I just wanted more friends," and he goes, "Yeah, you know what? I could be your friend." And he's like, "Ah."
he's like, "Thanks," and he goes, "Oh man, I'm so embarrassed for what I thought." And Haruka goes, I'm just so embarrassed, and oh man, I wanted to dig a hole and get inside it." And he goes, "Oh." dig a hole. And he goes, yeah. He's like, I'll dig a hole. And he goes, okay. He goes, yeah, I'll dig a hole and open it up for you. And he goes, oh, you're so funny. He's like, yeah, let's go over here. And immediately Kosaka goes, oh no, what have I done?
I've made a terrible mistake.
See, this is where they reverse, because every sexual thing that Hoshikawa says to Shinozaki goes over his head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's the only guy. He doesn't get it when it comes from him.
Yeah.
Nope.
But Kosaka does. Every time Hoshikawa says something, Kosaka's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, she's just like, ah!
Like,
Why are people saying all these sexual things? This has never happened before.
She's like, "This is so weird." Another S&M moment happens where she's like tries to cheer him up, and she says something. I just have S&M stuff, never gets old, so I imagine that something like that.
I think it was like the whip or something like that.
Is it where she steps on him? Because they're in their
stretching,
gym gear.
Yeah.
They're stretching.
Yeah, she puts her foot on his back, and she goes like this.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, come down here and help me, and she's like this.
Oh, like, yep. Oh my god, that doesn't get old.
And then he's like, where's my buddy? Where's he at? Wonder where he's at.
And then I have the imagery in this show sometimes.
Yeah.
He's holding a bat between his fingers and two baseballs.
He's leaning back on a tree.
Like, I could show you.
Baseball bat swinging in between his legs, holding two baseballs at the very top of the baseball bat.
He's like, I just want to be better to show
He just looks over
my
and goes,
girlfriend how cool I am.
so I heard
Do you think you can help? You think you can help me with that?
And he goes,
It's like he raises the bat.
raises.
and he's like, hell yeah, I can. Ding.
Oh, I could show you. Yeah.
And then,
They're in there.
yeah, and then Kosaka goes to drop off something in the shed, and she hears them in the alley, and she goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
what are they doing?" And she looks over, and Hoshikawa's on his
He's kinda like-
knees,
Yeah.
and he's like, "You gotta grip it." He's like this? Yeah, grip it.
Yeah, kind of like you're milking something.
Kind of like you're milking something. And
What's going on over there?
from her angle, it looks terrible. But from their
She's
angle,
like
he's just
freaking
holding a
out.
baseball bat.
Oh, yeah. She's freaking out. That's my favorite part when she's like, ah!
What have I done?
He's like, "Oh no!" And then then they look at each other, and they're like, "Oh, we got to keep it a secret because I want to surprise her with how good I am at baseball." And he goes,
I'll show you
tomorrow." And she goes, "You'll show me it tomorrow."
No!
And then we get a small clip of the teacher going up to the nurse and going like, "Why are you still here?" She's like, "Oh, I was working unpaid overtime." And she's like, "Huh?" And then there's two students with their shirts off in the bed going, "Ugh." And I'm like, how is she not fired yet?
I want that nurse in my school.
How is she not fired?
Well, the teacher's a little flirty too. Both of them could have worked at my school. I'd have been happy. I'd have been fine with it.
We then get to the baseball day, the softball day, where the entire school participates in a tournament, and Kanata's helmet has cat ears on it, and I thought that was cute. And Kanata sees that he's by himself, and she goes, "I'll keep you company." And then like Hoshikawa and like the childhood friend show up and like, "Hey!" And she goes, "Oh, never mind, you have friends." I'm leaving.
I never. The whole school's participating in a baseball tournament.
Yeah.
Just none of this stuff ever. That sounds so fun.
That does sound like a lot of fun.
Everybody's got to play too. Apparently everybody's got.
Apparently everybody's got.
There might be kids that don't play. It's like the people in school days. The rest of the school is they have to run.
The rest of the school is they live their lives.
I don't want to be on the soccer team anymore.
Yeah,
Shut your ass up. Get out there and run, boy. Oh, okay.
Everyone else is on the soccer team. There's these people playing this love triangle game, and then everyone else is on the soccer team.
We finally get to the actual games, and what's her name again?
Which one?
Shizuku.
Yeah.
Shizuku, the childhood friend, cheers him on with like a very backhanded like type thing, where she goes, because he hits 3 foul balls. She goes, "You hit 3 foul balls, so now you're building up. So the next one should be a home run." And he goes, "If
you're cheering me on, thank you. But if you're trying to degrade me, please go away."
Yeah, she's like, "Please go home."
If you're cheering.
If you're cheering me, thank you. If you're heckling me, Go home.
That's what
You're doing really terrible. So statistically, this one's got to be good.
you're heckling me. Go away. And then fucking.
And then he hits another foul ball and it flies right towards Rena. And then one of her bodyguards shows up and catches it. He goes, "I'll be back," and he runs away. I'm like, all right, that's a dated reference, but okay.
Oh, it's perfect.
And then he hits
Perfect.
another foul ball into some foul balls.
Dude, you can't strike out on a foul.
Hoshikawa shows up. It's like, don't worry, he's gonna hit it on this next one.
Remember-
Smacks him right in
He's
the
like,
nuts.
"Thanks, Hoshikawa, for believing in me." Bah!
Bing!
And Hoshikawa comes. He's like, excitement!
He remembered what I taught him.
Because I hit him right in the balls.
Then he like runs over, and this is what I was talking about. Between those two scenes, getting down on your knees and talking to somebody, that's a normal thing to do, apparently.
'Cause even then, Kosaka's like, "Oh no, they're doing it here in public. They're showing me like they said."
And then you find it, then it's the cutest scene.
Are you
Okay.
talking about the part where he says that
Tells
he
her
was
why.
just, why?
Yeah. He tells her why.
Are
And
you-
she'll...
Are you gonna add on about how Kosaka ruins it?
Yeah, she does.
Because he's like, "Yeah, my hands are all callous from playing with the stick." And she goes, "So that means you think about me when you play with your stick?" He goes, "Yeah, that's what this whole thing was about." And then he shows her how he's holding the bat, and she goes, "Now I have to play it off like I was joking." And he goes, "Oh no," and she's like, "Yeah."
It was funny.
We get to the weird dog in the next episode.
Yeah,
I think we've talked about enough about the dog, so we can just go past
Yep.
that.
Please,
Is
please,
this a
let's move on.
different dog, or is this Rena's dog again?
It's
Yeah, this is Rena's
Rena's dog for the first time. We just talked about it way early.
Brought it up.
Oh, I was wondering why you guys were talking about the dog before. I was like, I don't remember this part.
Yeah.
Because
So,
it was
But
weird.
now
I
the
wanted to get
dog.
it out of the way. Moving forward.
He is the greatest. He's a little guy.
No, shut up.
We get All Might and Eraserhead. That's it becomes even more prevalent. We find out that the student council president really isn't necessary.
No.
Like her class, like she's like the class rep of like the most functioning class, and so
She's just a figurehead.
she's like, "Let's plan stuff," and somebody else is like already planning stuff. She goes, "Oh, but let's split into groups," and everyone's already split into groups, and she's just like, "Oh." But the rest of the
you guys want to talk about the bus ride?
But the rest of the student council is kind of like useless without her. They're like, "Hey, we need to go over that plan again because we weren't paying attention." She goes, "You guys need me." We also get into a cooking class episode where Kosaka's trying to raise her girlfriend abilities by getting better at cooking, and we see Hoshikawa do the salt bay with his dank memes.
with the
penis pepper
come on.
shaker.
The penis, that thing looks like, I was like, what the fuck is that?
But the part I like in this is they bring it up is that when he's salt baying, they're like,
Yeah.
"Look,
It
he's
gets in his
seasoning,
eye."
but the seasoning is also flying into his eyes." And he goes, "Salt, the perfect mixture of salt and tears."
Spices and tears, spices and tears, spices and tears.
There's a lot of cooking is later too.
Yeah, we get another cooking.
Yep.
She's trying to be the perfect girlfriend.
She is.
This is the trip, right?
Oh, wait,
trip.
This is our obligatory.
That's the trip. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not the
that's
cooking
during
class.
the trip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
The
during the
cooking's
trip.
later, I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cooking's later. This is the trip. Because
This
he
is our
also-
obligatory trip episode.
Yeah, because Hoshikawa also goes and attracts a bunch of male animals to him.
Oh yeah. The bunny like shows up and starts sniffing his crotch. He's like, "Oh, looks like you found a mushroom."
and our fucking main character,
Haruka starts walking over there.
he's like, "Oh, mushrooms." And Kosaka's like, "No, you can't have that mushroom." Then we get the dad at home, dad and mom sitting there like, "Oh, she's out on a trip," and dad's thinking about how she's growing so fast and that he's afraid that
he
one
starts
day
to tears up.
yeah, one day she'll say like goodbye, Dad, like because he'll give her away, and then
Yeah.
the mom looks at him and she goes, "It's okay, I know what you're worried about," and he's like, "Ah, thanks, honey." She goes, "I'm perfectly happy with your size." He's like, "That's not what I was worried about." And then that's her like, I sometimes figure my sarcasm doesn't play off well.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should reevaluate my jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
We also find out that Bang Girl. This is really where Bang Girl Shizumori comes out as being a voyeur, where she just likes to watch couples. She doesn't like to be really a part of it. She likes to watch.
Yeah.
She's a pervert.
So the cooking happens, and then there's supposed to be this big show of courage.
Yeah, the test of courage, which is a thing. Again, I'm so like DJ's talking about fun things that happen in Japanese high schools. Apparently, test of courage seemed like a fun fucking thing.
Is that a thing that happens often though?
Yeah,
like
we didn't have that class.
A test of courage, from my understanding, is when like basically two groups. One group is like the scares, and another group is the people who are the courage testers. And so they just have to walk through like a impromptu haunted house.
Oh, okay.
And it's done in like class trips and stuff. And I'm like,
Sounds like a haunted house trip.
I'm like, that's upsetting that we that never happened.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
There's also not many overnight trips.
Yeah, we didn't do that either.
Yeah.
We didn't have money for any of
bad
that.
news. That's bad.
We
news.
never got to go on a spa day like every anime in the world.
I know,
Yeah,
they have
dude,
hot springs where
seriously.
girls are separated by a plank of wood.
Small wall, a small
of
plank
wood.
of wood. Why weren't the boys peeking over it? They could hear through it so easily. You could easily just go peek over.
No, it's quite a bit taller than them. They'd have to stack probably 3 boys.
Oh, just stack up the boys.
This has been an anime that we watched. Yeah, Aramanga Sensei, where fucking what's her name climbs up on top of the fence and then knocks it over. Elf climbs on the fence and knocks it over.
Yeah, the boys are all listening.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely an episode that's going to be better for viewing with the uncensored.
Yeah, Bangs and Aiko, everybody is...
Everybody.
Vice President.
The test of courage happens, and Hoshikawa is on the scare team. And
He's Tarzan. He's blind by his penis.
yeah, and Kosaka's like Haruka's like, well, you're safe with me, Kosaka, and Kosaka's just like, where the fuck is he? Where the fuck is Hoshikawa? Because he's gonna come over and he's gonna rape my boyfriend.
I know what this is.
And the fucking A. At one point, Rina's like behind them, and she's running away from 2 girls dressed up as ghosts. And they run up and they find Rina, and they're like, Rina, what's going on? She goes, accidental
They're all passed out.
fondling. And,
Yeah.
and both the girls are like, oh, Rina-san!
I didn't mean to? Like, what?
She's like, I accidentally gave him super pleasure.
Yeah.
That's my Rena. That's my girl.
She like sticks around the entire time, and then she gets super scared.
Yeah.
She tries to crawl.
She crawls up. She crawls up to pants. Like into her shirt, and they're just awkwardly. And then he gets teabagged by Hashikawa.
And then
That's
the
my
class
boy.
president comes in and sees the scene of like, what the fuck is this?
And she gets so scared from it that she asks his Bangs to stay the night, like to sleep
Can you
with her.
sleep with me, please?
Can you sleep with me, please? And meanwhile,
Wait, is that...
what?
Did you move on to the next episode?
No, same episode.
Oh, same episode. Then they go to the spa.
There's a...
No, it's a hot springs. There is no spa.
Oh, the
episode.
Then they go to the spa. I'm thinking of the next one because, man, earlier I was saying they walk in on people a lot, and I thought you were talking about when she walks in on him and his sister.
Yeah, that's next episode.
Later.
That's next episode. There's a lot of walking in on people in this anime.
So we'll move on to that next episode because it kind of just ends there. I want to add on to. I just love the straight man of Haruka. And how he just, like, can we end this conversation now? Like, I would want to continue adding on that. He just perfect with the deliveries.
Yeah.
Because we open up with something where she goes, I can give you a hand. And he's like, oh, I don't really need help. She goes, no, here's a mold of my hand for your pleasure. It's like a hand that's in like a jacking off like
Yeah.
thing. And he's like,
Here is a flashlight of my hand, which is a strange thing to make a flashlight out of. But, you know,
and he goes,
it's the thought that counts.
he goes, I don't need this.
I don't need this.
And then the student council president finds Bangs hiding in a locker.
After two students are, ultimately having sex.
Who are intimate relations in a room.
And she's like, I'm gonna find him.
And she's like, what are you doing in there? She goes, those two were awesome. Because she's a voyeur. And then they hear somebody coming, and she goes, get in here with me, we gotta hide. And she's like, why do we have to hide? She goes, so that way we can surprise them. And it's, who else would it be other than Haruka and his sister?
Yeah. To eat lunch.
They come to eat lunch, but again, Kanata falls victim to the having to talk to a person while on my knees.
Yeah.
And she's too excited to eat lunch with her brother, who she hasn't had time to spend with. And so she squeezes some milk, and it splashes all over
herself.
And that gets Bangs all hot and heavy. She's like, oh my god, what? And they, a bunch of misunderstandings happen, because then he hears something from the locker, because the student council president's trying to get out, and they accidentally end up like touching each other's boobs and stuff.
Yeah.
And so he opens up the locker, and he sees both of them like panting like really hard, and he goes, and he just closes the locker.
Speaking of which, before that, that's what the student council president does to the fucking voyeur girl. Yep. She opens it up and she's like panting. She shuts it. She opens it up. She's still panting. She shuts it.
Doesn't he look at... Isn't there something with what voyeur girl's wearing? Right?
What?
I thought
No, something with student council president's wearing. When he opens up the locker, he like looks down and he's like, whoa, you gotta change your clothes. Or something like that.
Is that what he says?
He says something about her skirt.
That's later. The skirt stuff is later. Because then she gets really upset at him. She's like, I can't believe, like, you're Kosaka's boyfriend. And he's like, oh, let me explain. Let me explain. This is my sister. And she's like, ah! You're having relations with your sister? And she's like, that's it. I can't handle you. And she runs off to go.
Kanata doesn't understand it either. So then in her head, she's like, Famili.
She's like, family relations. Yep, we're a family.
You're having relations with your family?
And then he looks in the locker, and voyeur girl's still there, and he goes, I'm not cheating on Kosaka. She goes, it's not cheating till you give him a facial.
Well, then in that case, it's
in
her mind it's cheating.
Then it's cheating. But so student council president goes to like be mad and pee, and then she's like, I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind. And then she goes to talk to him, and she says like, I basically have had it up to here with your illicit activities and you being all lewd. And he's like, oh, that's just some misunderstandings. And then she like turns around, and her skirt is tucked into her underwear. So her underwear is exposed. And he's like, I gotta find a way to nonchalantly tell her that her underwear is exposed. And he goes up to her and
Not before he goes, oh yeah.
Yeah, he does go, oh yeah. Ooh, yeah. And so he goes up to her and he goes, don't you just ever, like, do you get the feeling ever to just want to touch a butt? And she goes,
your own butt?
She's like, you want to touch my butt? He goes, no, I'm talking about my butt. She's like, you want me to touch your butt? He's like, oh no.
This guy, everything this guy says to this girl
misconstrued. It's always misconstrued.
It does not help him in any way.
So eventually Kosaka shows up, and she notices. She's like,
yeah.
Oh no.
She's like, what is your opinion on this? She's like, opinion. Opinion. And
he's like, yeah, Kosaka's not listening. And they get it all resolved. And, like, he goes, see? Like, I was just trying to tell you, but I'm horrible at that kind of stuff. I try to help, and I just make things worse. She goes, like, you do. And they both just kind of, like, glow and
they walk
away.
up into the sunset, yeah.
And Kosaka goes, they're both so beautiful. And then we get the opening, the next segment is right, nod to the first episode, is right away. And he goes, I bet you're wondering how I got here. And I'm like, all that was missing was the record scratch. Yeah, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
My name is Earl.
And I thought that never was going to come back, and I was like, oh shit, this is it right here.
Yeah, so she misplaces her
Episode
underwear
9.
after swimming. And so she doesn't have
And
underwear.
who hasn't? Right?
And he keeps like asking her to go do things that just really appeal to her, even though she's like, I got to stay in class because I don't want to expose myself. And he goes, come on, let's go get this special chocolate bread together. And she's like, okay. And he goes, let's go eat. Let's go have a picnic. And she's like, okay, I gotta eat. It's like, we can hold hands. And she goes, okay. And so, because she's just like, oh my god, I'm not wearing underwear, but man, everything he's saying is something I want to do. Because she's like, she just likes him so much.
Yeah. Like blows dirt in his eye, and then her skirt blows up. It's like, whoa, I can't see anything.
At one point when her skirt does fly up, she pushes it down with the bread, and I'm like, the fucking imagery of this fucking show. She just has this giant dark bread penis.
Who knows? She's trying to figure some stuff out. Maybe maybe he sees that
So at this point, we know the voyeur girl followed them to 2 different locations, but we haven't like after a while we don't see her, and then she goes like, she's like, I'm going to expose myself to you, because he says something like being more like being closer to each other, because he has asking out, date, holding hands, and she has like asking out, date, exposing my genitals.
Yeah, he writes it out too. It like shows
She's
up
like,
on the screen. It's like, ask her out, go on date, hold hands.
she's always, she's like, you say, yeah, let's go out, and she's like, all right, tell me all your fetishes, and then you're like, I think we should take things to the next level, and she's like, all right, here's my genitals.
And so she's like, I'm going to lift up my skirt, and I have no underwear under there. And he's like, oh, and then he looks over, and voyeur girl's in the bush behind her. He's like, oh no, it's like, oh, she's going to help me. And she raises up a cue card, and it says, wait, I'd rather see you topless. And he goes, I'm not going to say that. And she goes, I'm an idiot. I should have had you say this. And she does like a different cue card, and it's, I want you to put on a grade schooler hat. I want you to be completely naked and put on a grade schooler hat.
There it is. There's the full circle.
Like
There's the full circle.
Looney Tunes status. Like, I was like, what is happening?
It's hilarious.
In this moment.
It's hilarious.
This lady in a bush is giving him directions.
Be cue cards. I love it.
I wish you... Yeah.
They go into the not locker room. They go into the storage room again, and this time Rena and our couple go into the storage room to put stuff away, and they get locked in. They get locked in there, and the teacher says something along the lines like, "Whoop! Now I'm out of here. Fuck this school."
She's like, my ass hurts. I'm out of here.
Yeah, and
I don't even fucking work here.
I don't fucking work here. I got fired a week ago. I don't give a shit.
Fired months ago.
And so they get locked in there, and Rena freaks out. Rena is like, "Oh my god, it's dark!" And then Kosaka's like, "Oh, it's dark!" And meanwhile, our boy's like, "All right, I'm getting pushed against boobs here. I gotta find a light, or I'm gonna get too excited." And so he ends up turning on the light, and he looks over, and Rena and Kosaka are basically 69ing each other, and both slightly stripped. And at this point, Rena's bodyguards like break down the wall, and they see the girls like in that position, and they see him looking at them, and they go, "Oh." No.
They start shaking their head.
He's like, "No, I'm not a cuck. I'm not into being a cuck."
And they're like, mm-mm.
They know Rena. Those bodyguards know Rena. They know how she accidentally gets
they're like,
gets
no,
going.
Rena got her. And then they buy him and then the bodyguard number 47 buys him a blow up doll. Because
his sister's like, wait a minute, what the heck is this?
He's like, I'm not a cook.
And his sister's like, wait a minute, what is this? Oh, why is she naked? Why is there a hole here? What is this?
Yeah, he's just like, I don't know what to do with this.
Episode 10.
Episode 9, Anthony.
This is episode 9? That was episode 9.
That was episode 8.
This one's 9.
This one's 9.
Is it really?
This one stuff. This is the first time for me that there was actually a little bit of stakes. Like, there's a little bit of depth. Like before, it was like, oh, this is just a little romp. This is fun stuff. This one's kind of like, oh, okay, all right. I think these last two, you're like, whoa, a little bit of a turn here.
This one does definitely grow more into characters instead of just funny situations.
Yeah.
That being said, right off the bat, Kosaka has to cancel a date because her dad's back hurts, and they have to take him to the hospital. And they're like, "Oh, what happened to your dad?" And it's because dad and mom got a little busy, a little too hard.
I thought it was his.
It's his lower back.
It's his lower back.
Is it his lower back?
Yeah, and then she and
or
then,
his hip. Is it his hip?
It's his lower
It's his
back.
lower back.
And the mom says because he used it too much last night.
I know it was near his ass area because I was thinking, I wonder what she was doing to him. Maybe, maybe she was going a little too hard, if you know what I mean.
I think he was just
I don't
thrusting
think so.
a little hard.
I think,
I mean, it could have been that. It could have been that.
Because even in the zoo episode, he talks about how getting old sucks and he can't move as much. So,
I'm just saying, let's not judge the man for what he might not like. Okay,
I'm not no judgment
No
here,
judgment.
man.
I'm just
Judgment
trying to
here.
correct you on what you're thinking.
all I'm saying is, what if he couldn't sit on the toilet seat either? You know what I mean?
I
You
don't think
fantasize about
that's-
whatever
yeah,
you want to
yeah,
fantasize,
you can,
okay, man?
You fantasize about what that married couple does on their own time.
All I'm saying is, maybe Bodyguard 47 was there, and it was a good old time. You know what I mean?
Okay, you're now
writing
being as
fan
corrupted as the
fiction now.
girls.
Yeah, here
Sorry,
comes
I'm,
the fan fiction, huh?
Sorry, I was in my own world there for a second.
So he ends up running into Shizuku while he's there, and he and Shizuku kind of do a buddy hangout day.
Yep.
But Shizuku sees it as kind of
Date.
like, hey, we're gonna have like a fun little buddy date, and he was like, yeah, buddy hangout. She's buddy date, and he's like, yeah, buddy hangout, because that's what I like. This dude is dense, but he's a faithful dense guy.
He's faithful.
he
Faithfully dense.
knows this is this is a friend. He's like, no, this is a friend hangout. He's like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
He's like, she's like, yeah, that's all I know. We're friends.
More than a few times, like when she's getting dressed, he's like, "Can you help me with my strap?" He walks in, bah, put a shirt on.
He's like,
What
why
the
are
heck
you
are
sure
you
on? She goes,
doing?
you fell for it, and he goes, yeah, because you asked me to help.
Pranked. It's just a prank, bro.
Prank. Yep, pranked.
I don't like this prank.
And so he ends up going back to her house because her parents aren't home. And so she's like, you can come back to my place because my parents aren't home. It's kind of like the opposite of the meme of the babe come over. Like, babe, come over. And he's like, I can't. My parents aren't home. And then he, like, rushes there. It's like, my parents aren't home. He goes, oh, yeah? I'll make you dinner. He goes, oh, okay. All right, yeah, I'll go.
And isn't it when she's talking about that they're totally super close and they're like in the very, very beginning, she brings up, she's like, yeah, you invited me over your house and I saw inside your house and stuff.
Yeah, it's because they're since they're close childhood friends, and her parents are constantly on like on trips, so she's always alone. So that's how come like they got closer.
Yeah, she was like, I've been in your house, blah blah blah. To at the very beginning, this is when they were going and when she invites them all into her house. Like, ooh, it reminded me of that when she was talking about how they're wrestling when they were kids and how she's been in his house so many times.
Yeah,
it changes tone a little bit. I liked it. It gave good contrast. So
yeah, and so so he ends up going with her to her house, and she ends up getting locked into handcuffs.
Prank, bro. It's just a prank, bro.
She's like, I love that instantly he sees her handcuffed, and he looks out and the window's open. He's like, this was a burglary. She goes, I thought I was gonna mess with you some more, and then I lost the keys. And then this is what I like. I like this because she's like, I gotta pee, and she's like, help me up, sit me down, and she goes, kiss me, and he goes, no.
It's like, I got your back, bro. Kiss me. Whoa. Thought this is a bro day.
This is bro day.
Okay.
You and I are bros. And so they spend basically that whole night him babying her because she's tied up, and then he goes to like put her in her bed, and he fucking throws her over his shoulder instead of carrying her princess style like she wanted. So he throws her over his shoulder like dirty laundry, throws her onto the bed, and then he finds the key on her, and this is one of my favorite line deliveries. And she goes, "Oh, is that where the key was? I had no idea."
Yeah, she definitely fucking neglected to tell him that they were in her goddamn pocket.
She fucking
the whole time.
in. She fucking phoned that in too. It was just like, "Oh, that's where the keys were. Holy shit! Oh, I didn't know." Okay, now
I mean, but I got a new plan. But that was a great strategy. I'm going to use that.
No,
use that.
DJ, don't.
Shizuka, I'm going to use that. I'm going to handcuff myself and pretend like I can't get any help. The keys are going to be in my my pocket the whole. I almost said in my coffee. In my pocket the whole time. I
was going to say, whoa. The keys are in my cock. Whoa.
Like, you finish.
Keys are going to be in my pocket the whole time, and then ideally they don't, like beat me up or anything.
They don't rob you. Ideally, they
don't rob you.
They'd be, oh, perfect. He's all tied up. I can rob him.
This fucking moron. Oh, yeah, it was top ramen.
Thing.
Then the next segment is the cooking class, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
She goes, I'm gonna be the best girlfriend. She was holding up like a whisk and a vibrator. I'm like, okay.
I mean, I agreed with that entirely. I don't know. Baking and vibrator.
No.
There you go. Best girlfriend.
We get the return of Hoshikawa, who's wearing like an apron with like a heart cut out of it.
Yeah, and it's all short. Boy, it like cuts off like it's crop top. It's kind of a crop top.
Boy.
And
I love that.
And Hoshikawa here gets he's like, oh yeah, like the knife is meant for pulling back skin, and he's like caressing the knife, and I have like in all caps like, don't do that with a knife. Don't do that with a knife.
That's not right.
Someone's gonna get hurt.
I don't want you to come near me with that knife, Hoshikawa.
I'm good.
He's like caressing the knife, and he's like that's for pulling back the stuff. And then Kosaka's so distraught by what's going on over there that the thing that she's making catches fire.
He's like trying to get over there. He's like, fire!
Haruka's like, Kosaka! Kosaka! And Hoshikawa's like thrusting behind him like, And then Kosaka's like, oh my god! And Haruka's like, look at the fire! And she goes, he came! And then Hoshikawa's like, at the same time. And she's like, he got ate before he could eat.
He got eaten before he could eat.
She never brings this up to him. She keeps seeing him in these compromising situations. She's like, hey, she should be like, hey, I know you're cheating on me with that boy. I've seen you in that boy, and you're practicing your baseball.
I like that she has to hypnotize herself to try the stuff that she make because it looks terrible, and so she's like, "You will try this. It looks delicious.
This is made with passion. This is made with passion. This will taste great.
It's made with passion, which means it's better than tasting good."
Girls can't cook?
This is amazing.
Is there any cute girls in anime that can cook? I don't think so.
And then Rina goes, Rina, try it, and he's like,
and her voice is a full octave higher too. Rina, would you like to try my food?
And Rina's like, yeah. And so Rina tries it, and she goes, that's delicious. You're really improving, Kosaka. And he goes, oh, really? Oh, that's okay, cool. And so Kosaka leaves, and Haruka is like, Rina, thanks for trying that. And Rina's like, like coughing up blood. And he's like, Rina, and she's like, don't tell Kosaka the truth about my condition.
I might die.
And he's like, why? He goes, she is my friend, and you lie to make your friends feel better. He's like, Rina! And then it has she's in the sky and fades away.
The meme lord, man. This show is the meme lord. I love it.
And
it's perfect.
And then another oh yeah happens. Oh,
oh yeah.
Like I said it here before, and I do like how the other girls, like mainly the childhood friend, will hit on him, but when Kosaka's around and he clearly shows that his feelings for Kosaka are there, she kind of backs off on the joke, or she backs off on doing stuff. It makes this a lot more digestible than just constantly girls like sabotaging one another.
Yeah, I agree. It would be annoying if she was always just all on him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like part of this too because he yells like he's like, I'm not a lolicon, because she does the lolicon thing again. She's like, he's a lolly
Yeah.
pervert pedo who's going it off with the grade school hat and being naked. And he's like, I'm not a lolicon.
Yeah.
She needs to get one of the little hats with the spinner on it. Bzzz.
I'm like, this is fucking misunderstandings the anime.
Yeah.
We now move into our final episode, the finale, which opens up with him going on a date with Kosaka, and the entire time it's weird.
Yeah.
And he even says it's weird. He's like, this is weird.
It's so weird. I even said to myself, I was like, she's way more cute in this episode.
Yeah, like she's...
But it's like she's
bubbly.
over the top, yeah.
And so then he sits there and he goes, wait a minute, this is the Kosaka I had in my head.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up from it, and she does her normal weird thing. She's just like, hey, if you have a boner from that naughty dream you just had, I recommend you sit down. That way no one can see
It's the same shot from the very beginning too. Like wakes up, and she's like in her seat to the front left of him, and she walks up, and he's looking at like the back of the girl's skirt, like in the very beginning, and then everyone walks out, and she walks up to him, and she's like, "Hey,
If you got a boner,
If you get a
just
boner,
don't
just
stand up.
Just don't
It's
stand
okay.
up. It's okay.
yeah, just stay sitting down." It's embarrassing.
And then she goes, and then he's like, no. And then that's where I like this, because he starts to like show that like she may not be what he initially had thought she was going to be, but he likes her better. Like he likes the real her more than his fantasy.
I thought that was even better because they had just shown you, like it comes really full circle because they had just shown you that same shot again, like the same shot from the very beginning, where in the very beginning when you see that shot, he's imagining her as how he thinks she's going to be, and now in the very end, you see the same shot and he knows who. Even though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though he has like the dream beforehand, it's still like it's the same shot where he's like, I really like this girl over here at the front of the classroom, and then she walks up to him, and yeah.
That's where he
I
poses
like
the question too, and more serious.
The symmetricalness of it.
Yeah, that's where he poses the question too. That like he really does like, he really does like Kosaka for who she is, not because of this image that he has in his head. So I like that. That's the start of this kind of more serious tone that is immediately,
It's kind of then displaced because Hoshikawa shows up again.
Yeah.
Talking about studying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because exams are coming up, because it's the end of the season, so, exams are happening.
It's like trying to help his sister.
And then his sister and her friend come up, and they're like, hey, like, her friend's immediately like, oh, man, he's such a good big brother. Maybe he'll tutor me, too. And so she's kind of not paying attention. And meanwhile, Kanada's like, hey, so can you, like, I need you to teach me about, like, what insemination means.
Yes.
Whoa!
He's like, you're interested in insemination? And she's like, she's interested too. He goes, you are? And she just snaps out of her, like, her daydream and just goes, absolutely, I think it's really important. And then he goes,
He's like, you think insemination is important?
She's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys.
Then they have their study session, and another 69 joke is made because Kanada's book has 6 times 9 in it, and they're studying biology. Then we get into the
Ice cream
possibly
shop?
possibly one of the best segments where it's all the main
Oh,
characters
100%.
coming in buying different ice cream.
Ice cream.
Everybody gets their own little moment, like their own return.
Their own little flair. It's perfect.
Instantly, the childhood friend comes in. She's like, "I'm like, oh, come try our ice cream. It's all the same cups for $3." And she's like, "I want a mega cup." She just crying.
She's like, ma'am, are you okay? I want a mega cup.
Hoshikawa shows up. And he wants a popsicle, but it's a special special
He walks in and he does like 3 JoJo poses. He's like, "Ooh, ha, hey, I want a popsicle."
And
It's
she
like-
goes, "It's a special day. We have a 2-for-1 sale." He goes, "Whoa, 2 popsicles for the price of 1."
I don't think I've ever held 2 at once before.
He's like,
And then he's
"Both
like,
my hands."
he does the fucking thing.
He's like, "Oh, right." And she goes,
Oh,
she's like, a bunch of strange customers. I'm like, AKA our fucking main cast.
yeah. And then Kosaka comes in
And asks for a very specific two scoops of ice cream with a banana in the middle, covered in condensed
scoops
milk.
of mango ice cream.
Mango ice
Comes
cream.
in and she goes, "I need you to make me ice cream that looks like a penis."
Yep. And then she starts.
But she
taking a
doesn't
selfie
say it
with
that way.
She's like, "Look at this," and then it falls. And then the banana falls into between her boobs, and she goes, "Better."
I can get you a rag to clean up. She
Nope,
just
this is great.
ignores that.
It's fine. The whole time I'm like, "Where's this girl in my life?"
She goes, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that's having these perverted thoughts.
Because as soon as I find her, I'm going to know exactly how to get her to be my girlfriend.
And then the big
Lock up and ask.
Haruka comes in and gets the.
He's like, He's like, forget what they're called, but they're like about palm size. They have the little tip at the end that you bite and milk comes out. She's like, oh, mine don't have milk in them yet.
He's like, wait a minute, what? What are you talking about? Are you okay back there?
And on a side note, this is not the only show where I've seen those balloon things, and I'm super
I
interested
don't know
in
what they
trying one.
are.
They're
I
like
had
ice
no
cream
idea
or
what it was.
something?
I've never seen that.
It's like a milkshake type deal, like in this balloon.
I thought it was milk in a water balloon. Like
It's
like,
kind of
what
like
it-
sweet milk in a water balloon type deal.
Mm.
Yes, that's dessert.
I'm gonna search Japanese water balloon dessert.
Anthony's like, oh
that's-
god, it's so many sexual acts.
It just seems like too close to a sexual act, kind of, to be an actual.
Dagashi Kashi has an excellent episode dedicated to these things, where she teaches them how to drink from them, and it's the entire episode.
Okay.
Entire episode is definitely innuendo for second a boob.
So these things are like
Yeah, I have no idea.
ripe for exploitation, I guess. Huh?
Absolutely.
All right. Maybe I'll try one day.
Well, no, he's sleeping.
Haruka's asleep in the class.
sleeping,
Yeah.
and Kosaka sees him, and this is such a cute scene because she's just sitting there watching him sleep, and she's like, and she goes in for the head pat, and then he wakes up, he's like, I'm not a lolly pervert.
She's pretending to be asleep.
And she's pretending to be asleep, and he sees her, and he's like, oh, that's cute, and he head pats her, and then she wakes up, and she's upset because she didn't get to head pat him.
Yeah.
And so they exchange head pats, which is cute.
Yeah.
And then we get Voyeur Girl who's asleep, and student council president wakes her up,
Oh,
and she was like,
this one was kind of gross.
she's like,
This
she's like, oh, do you have like a napkin? And she goes, to wipe the drool off her face. She gives her the handkerchief, and then she's like, yeah, I had one of those dreams, and she's like
I know
wiping
who
her
the-
crotch, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my
you're like,
god,
Ooh.
oh my
Ooh.
gross.
Yep, that's a little much. That's a little much.
Do you think it was like a sex dream or like a dream where she was like peeing?
I think it was
Probably
sex
one where she was watching people.
have sex.
Yeah. Well, I know. Okay, I know. All right. I was just making a gross joke just now. Okay.
Hey, don't knock people's fetishes.
That's true. Water sports. It's been
Water sports.
it's been brought up already.
The next part
2018. Give it the sign of the time.
the next part is they have to do some school drawings together. They have sketch time
In the forest?
in the forest of trees.
Which
that
we
look
never did that
sexual.
Yeah.
The sexual trees forest.
Yeah.
I didn't take art class, but I'm pretty sure they didn't have They didn't say, yeah, go draw each other in the forest. Oh, unsupervised. Like what?
Well, it's because again that teacher doesn't work there. The teacher doesn't work there anymore.
No,
she just
yeah.
kidnapped a class of kids.
Yeah.
Go draw each other in this forest. That's right next to the school, apparently.
And filled with really super hypersexual
Weird trees. Yeah. Yeah.
At one point, was it Hoshikawa and him are drawing a tree together, and he's like,
It's like you really,
and Hoshikawa gets like super intense about it. He's like, yeah. Do you?
you really gotta just focus on the parts of the.
And Kosaka's like, nope, coming
It
with
was
me,
too much. Yeah.
coming with me. And I'm like, save him right now. And he ends up drawing. He ends up separating from Kosaka and drawing Rina and Kanata, not Kanata, Rina and Shizuku.
Yeah.
And during that time, a gust of wind happens, and it blows up Rena's skirt. And
But he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, he wasn't paying attention, and he goes, "Oh, can you do it again? Like, I need to get a better look." And it's this, again, a huge misunderstanding breaks out. And I like because it fixes, at the end of it, he goes, after everything was figured out, he made a humble apology.
Yeah, they explained it to me, and he made a humble apology.
Then he goes back to drawing Kosaka. And as he's drawing Kosaka, he kind of goes through all the memories that have happened in the season with her. And this kind of made me realize that, like, with these episodic show episodes and just the quick bits of multiple interactions with the characters, that a lot happens with them.
Yep.
And so, like, and so he goes through all the memories, and then he just goes, I love you. And I'm like, oh my God. And then she says it back after she says, give me 30 seconds.
Yeah.
She freaks the fuck out, and then she says it back.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, I like it because at first she doesn't react. Because she's trying to be a good model for his drawing. He's like, I love you. And she's like...
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she holds it in. And then they confess to each other that they love each other. And then he shows her the drawing after the credits.
Apparently it was bad.
Apparently it was bad. And he goes, I'll correct it. Give me 90 seconds, please.
As long as it takes, I'll do it.
And that was the end of the show. Fun fact, I believe season 2 is confirmed.
Wow. That's awesome. I will look forward to it.
Anthony, after we go through a show, we like to normally talk about how we would fix it.
Yeah.
How would you fix this show? Start us off.
This is kind of tough, you know. I am not gonna lie. I actually already have a pretty high. I already rate this pretty high, you know, as far as our standards are concerned. So there's honestly not a lot that I would fix. Maybe some semblance of I was going to say plot, but then that would change the entire show. I honestly think they did a pretty good job. I was actually pretty entertained throughout the entire show. I thought that they had some pretty decent jokes and maybe tone back on the lolicon jokes. maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to really pinpoint some shortcomings. Maybe include Rena a little bit more. Go back, rewrite Harakara, whatever the heck his name was. Hoshikawa back in episode 2 because, oh my God, I love that guy. So, other than that, I thought they did a pretty good job.
Okay. Good to hear. How about you, DJ?
I thought it was fix it. It depends on what you want to do. What's your intentions with the anime are. If you want it to be like a serious, or not even serious, but like an anime with like a storyline. This is the rare case where it has no plot or depth. Well, it has a little bit of plot, but there's no depth and no conflict and nothing like that, but it's still fun. They adopted a style that's a lot more like a cartoon, like a classic cartoon, where on the next episode everything's going to be fine no matter what, you know? And that doesn't necessarily make those cartoons bad, that, like, you know, every episode of SpongeBob, the next episode is the same. Like, nothing carries over, and there's no weight to any of the decisions or anything like that. And it doesn't make it bad. But if they wanted to go a more like continuity route, you know, you could change it. You would have to change quite a bit. It doesn't work at all as a show with like continuity and like episode to episode arcs and stuff like that. But I think it works great as like just a fun watch, as for like with like a classic cartoon. The only problem I have with that is that if you're going in for like a funny comedy episode to episode, everything's good, it kind of clashes with the mature jokes of the show.
Well, I mean, isn't the mature jokes of the show the comedy like in itself?
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, it's just I feel like it's a really niche thing. It's like this is a only comedy anime and it's mature jokes, and then I feel like that might shoehorn it a little bit and turn people away. They're like, I just don't like something I like because it's so specific.
Okay. For me, the only way I'd fix it is the format of this show just feels weird for 30-minute long episodes. Like I liked it. I don't get me wrong. I liked it. I liked watching all the segments, but I feel like it, like other comedy shows like Aho Girl or I Can Understand What My Husband Is Saying, are only like 15-minute long episodes, 15, 13, 12-minute long episodes. And I feel like this show could have done that as well. I never felt like any episode was long, but if I were to give one back, I feel like if they went the route of 12, 13 episodes, 12, 13 minute long episodes, you could go more episodes, and it would have been same detail. But that's all I got. I feel like the series accomplished what it wanted, and I believe the only reason it has as low of a score as it does have on Mal is that people were expecting something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too.
All right.
But I mean, I read that before it came out, those people knew how this guy writes. Like they knew.
Well, not only Mal isn't only people who've read the manga or know how this guy writes. It's people who just tune in to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it could honestly be like people who you could have those people who get offended over stuff for people. Maybe someone went in there and went like, Hoshikawa is a bad homosexual stereotype, and that's why I didn't like the show. Or oh, she's too willing to bend to to his needs. Like she's not a very powerful female character. You could have people complain about that as well.
I think it might be because there's just a lot of this stuff in this anime that I think might piss certain viewers off. Like, oh, it's too fan servicey. Oh, there's not enough plot for me. Oh, I don't like harem animes. It's like it's got a lot of little stuff in it that gets shat on quite often in anime. Like ecchis just in general get shat on kind of hard.
Absolutely, that is an argument that I hate seeing, is that there seems to be a lot of as soon as an anime does like a fan servicey thing with a character, the anime is thrown aside as like garbage. It's like, oh, this character was a strong female character until until her boobs got shown, and then it's like, well, no, she's the same character. And so that's kind of what throws me off about like High School DxD is such a loved like ecchi series, like universally loved ecchi series, that I need to watch it just because I got to figure out like how it is, like why is this the exception to the rule for a lot of anime viewers. Anything else you guys want to say about My Girlfriend is a Faithful Virgin Bitch?
Before we end the spoilers?
Nothing with spoilers.
Nothing with spoilers, no.
All right. Okay, I'll go ahead and end the spoilers now. All right. Welcome back. If you skip the spoiler section, we had quite the journey. We are now after we go through the anime, we like to give our review on it. And DJ, how about you break down what we do with our reviews?
Number one review option is trash. That's where you throw it right in the goddamn trash. Number two review option is fine. That's where you dig on through that trash and you find that tasty morsel and you eat it on up. And then the other one is where you don't throw it away at all. Keep. Save.
Okay. One would think that after like nine
episodes,
nine podcasts, DJ would figure out how we rate things.
I was close.
You kinda?
Yeah, sort of.
I feel like you went trash because that's where the trash goes. Fine, because you get that tasty morsel.
I was right on the first two, right?
Okay. All right. So the DJ is right. The first option is trash. We put an anime in the trash where it is,
maybe.
where it is bad, and all the hate for it is deserved and it really does belong in the dumpster. The second option is the recycling bin, where maybe we personally didn't like it, or we understand why some hate is there for it, but it still has its ups. And if you want to watch it, you should watch it. But if it's not on your plan to watch list, don't bother. And finally, we have a find, and that is where you find that tasty morsel
and you eat it up.
I never told you this, Jake, before. You're racist. It don't make any sense at all. If you recycle something, you're still throwing that shit away.
Yeah, but it's getting renewed for somebody else.
Yeah, it's getting reused.
One
So there you
man's
go.
trash is another man's treasure.
And then a find is when you actually, where you find it in the trash and you think that it's good. Damn it, DJ, you ruined what I was going to say.
Tasty. It's so tasty and good, and you eat it up.
You eat up that find.
Oh.
A find is where
there's a half a hamburger right here.
a find is where you believe that it's actually where you believe the show
Edible.
has merit to it, is pretty good, and we think that you should add it to your plan to watch list.
It's like when you find half a Big Mac. So one of them is trash that you don't want to take out of the trash can. The other one is like a can that you could take to the recycling plant and get $1 for. And the last one is like half a Big Mac that they didn't even touch it and it's perfectly good.
Or a like Gibson guitar that has all broken strings and the person was like, oh.
Easily. I understand that more so than the fucking Big Mac. Thank you
Big
for
Mac?
that.
Would you rather have a Big Mac or a Gibson guitar?
Are you serious?
A big.
I'm taking the Gibson.
The Big Mac, guys. Come on.
I want to eat that dirty Big Mac.
Okay, well
all
then, jeez.
These reviews are also spoiler free. So Anthony, since this was your pick for us to watch, how about you lead us off?
Okay. From episode 1, I honestly had a pretty harsh impression of this anime because we do really like to follow a trend of really horrible. Like the most just the oldest Jewish woman that you could imagine saying that word. Horrible. They're just absolutely horrible. But you know what? I honestly thought it was just going to be one big campy mess of bad joke after bad joke, and I was glad to be wrong. I was generally entertained throughout the entire show. I really fell in love with the characters, and I thought that the relationships that they build throughout the entire show were honestly what made it so good. I don't necessarily think it's the greatest show I've ever watched. I mean, if I really wanted to sit down and watch a comedy and you know, hang out and with my friends and watch a really funny show, and this is probably one that I would totally recommend. This for me is a find. I think that it is one of the first finds that I've done, but I'm happy. I am a happy camper.
Anthony is actually, besides Killing Bites, which we watched all the way through by weekly.
Yeah.
This is the first find.
Yeah, this is the
find. First find that you've said.
First find for me.
Anthony.
So, and I, you know, like I said, I know that not everybody's going to find the value in this. I understand that, and personally, I think that if you look past its shortcomings, I think you're going to like it. This is definitely a find. Put it on the watch list.
All right. DJ, you're up.
I think this anime is, you know, it's not quite a tasty morsel, right? No. It's I liked it a lot, and I think it appeals to a lot of the things I like. You know, I don't necessarily need a narrative to have all the bells and whistles. It doesn't have to have conflict and stakes and important stuff. I think if you're running a type of narrative that needs that and is lacking it, that could be a really terrible flaw. But I mean, there's lots of examples of great shows and stuff like that that don't have any stakes or anything like that. They just go from episode to episode, and they're funny and they're fun and they're good, and you don't have to worry about what happened last episode. And those shows work just fine, and I think this is one of those shows. But I think there's some people who won't like that. I don't think that's common for an anime, and I think there's people who, you know, are like, that's not how an anime should be, and they won't like this. And it's ecchi, and people don't like that, and it's got a lot of sexual jokes in it, and people don't like that. So I think the hate train and the people who don't like it so much are those type of people. They're the people that just that's not their cup of tea. That the type of anime that this is. But it is my cup of tea. So I think Recycling Bin, especially if you're the type of person that seems you think you might like this type of anime, I think you definitely will. I think you'll definitely enjoy it.
All right. For me, I have been torn since finishing the last episode. I mean, it's a slice of life anime, and it's episodic. So really, like, there is no plot to judge off, like DJ said. So it is really just based off. For me, the only way you can judge this is off of its humor. And I think the humor does an amazing job. I think it's funny. I think the characters are great. I think that it shines with its innuendos and its misunderstandings, and I just loved every bit of it. I enjoyed watching every episode of this show. And for me, the way I think of it when it's a find is, would I recommend this to my friends? Would I go up to one of my buddies and say, hey, let's you and me watch this show? And I would absolutely put this on my recommendation list for people to watch. I'm saying, hey, you want a comedy? Watch Baka and Test. Watch My Girlfriend is a Faithful Virgin Bitch.
Slutty virgin.
And so I would absolutely say that for me, this is a find.
Woo.
Yeah, well, you're both wrong. Yeah, you're both wrong. See?
I definitely think that the hate for this show got stuck in an echo chamber of those people who don't like it being the loudest.
Yep,
Can we change it to Trash, Recycling Bin, Tasty Morsel?
No. Because at that point, isn't a tasty morsel like the thing that Dennis and Mac are afraid to be called in the boat episode? So we're getting it's tasty treats.
I don't know. Oh.
All right, we spent a lot of time
did.
My Girlfriend is a Faithful Virgin Bitch. So we're going to jump into our anime of the season. And the anime of the season is Maho Shoujo Ore, or Magical Girl Ore. And Anthony, how about you tell us what that is about?
Magical Girl Ore, probably one of the best anime I've ever watched, ever on this planet. It is just a wonderful comedic fucking roller coaster of a show. It's essentially about these two girls who get transformed into magical girls, but then you find out that being a girl and fighting demons isn't necessarily the smartest thing, and the best physical attributes are given to strong and muscular men. So these two girls transform into men.
So.
What?
Men are more fit for battle.
They are more fit for combat. So. Anyways, that's an inside joke. Basically, these muscular men fight off the cutest demons on the planet and save people's lives.
Right. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be talking about episodes 4 and 5 of Magical Girl Ore. So we're going to go ahead and throw up that spoiler tag now.
Bam, bam, bam.
Okay, so we get their debut as Magical Girl idols.
They're walking down this hallway. The mystery continues too. I want to know who the fuck these other girls are.
They're other idols.
They have to be, right?
I think Blonde Girl has a thing for man version.
The ones that are they seem like they're more popular.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like the female versions of the males. The male singers. Yeah, I think they're going to be... I don't know.
I think they're going to turn into magical boys.
I think they are. I think they're going to turn into magical girls. We also meet the cyborg.
Yeah.
Who
has 6 of him?
Okay,
that's the next episode, right?
Oh, yeah,
it's revealed right at the end that there's like a bunch of them. But I thought the entire time he was just some dude wearing a plastic bag on his head.
I thought he was too.
And then at the end of this episode, he gets stabbed. And it's revealed he actually is a cyborg.
Yep.
I'm like, oh,
that's great. I thought that was awesome.
Hot muscular man by day, bag over the head cyborg at night.
I think they totally did that on purpose. They were like, yeah, it's just like a crazy dude with a bag on his head, rides around on his bicycle. Oh no! This is a fucking cyborg, motherfucker.
I like that he's like He's like, "Do you see what this says on my chest?" And it says like his last name. And they're like, "Yeah." And he goes, "They're like, yeah. What's that mean?" He goes, "It means I'm poor. I have to wear my gym uniform."
Fudatomi or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then his whole family wears their gym uniform.
it's hilarious.
Because
It's
all of
hilarious.
them wear their fucking name on their shirt.
It's hilarious
we-
because when they're standing in the closet and he's talking about himself and everything like that, it like cuts to what's the main character's name? It cuts to her and she's
Saki.
like, "Oh my god, this guy's fucking crazy." And he like cuts and he's like up in her face. "You're probably saying I'm fucking crazy right now."
He's like, "But I'm not." I like that. So the way they transform is they have to announce that they're in love with somebody.
Yeah.
And so she goes in there and she's like, "I'm in love with that guy's name." And then her friend goes in there. She's like, "I'm in love with Saki," because her Saki's name's not as long as the other guy's name. So
In a sexual way.
sexual way. They have to fight off the demons that are attacking like the other female idols, and we find out Saki's weapon does actually have a special ability.
It sucks in the
It sucks up the blood of the demons.
She's like beating the shit out of him too. I thought that this was fucking hilarious too.
Okay,
and they cut to
something
the
that-
boat again.
Something that I wasn't sure about. Is it doing that, or is he just like thinking that?
No, he tells her. He tells
Yeah.
her that it sucks up the blood of the demons.
Yeah, she goes,
It doesn't make it any more powerful.
Yeah.
It just sucks up
Yeah,
the blood.
She goes,
Yeah.
I could have done without knowing that. Thank you.
I could have done without knowing that.
And then as they're
That's a
beating up
power
the
arc.
zombie as they're beating up the demons, it cuts to the picture of the boat again, and then
Yes.
it cuts to him dead.
It's so bloody.
I love it.
And I'm like, fucking
The nice
school
boat.
day
Yeah.
references. The next, and so
Very nice boat.
She also has some interactions with the brother where he doesn't speak.
Yeah.
But she knows what he means by all of his
He's like,
mannerisms.
Thank you. You saved me twice now. Oh my god, I'm totally in love with you.
I like that we hear the voice actor for the guy say the words
Yeah,
anyway, but he just doesn't say them. He's just like, but it's like, "Thanks for saving me." I'm like, oh.
It's no problem.
I
And
thought it was-
sisters in the background going.
She's like, I'm man. Because I want to bang Saki. In
In
male
a
or female
sexual
version.
way.
Because it's Saki.
Sexual way.
Oh, it's perfect.
Then the next episode is weird. The next episode's weird.
Yeah, this one's weird.
It was meta as shit, but
Yeah, it
I
was.
didn't like it. I normally like meta stuff, but I didn't like this one.
I didn't
Maybe-
understand the editor. Like, why was the editor like the guy who smacks the comic book out of the guy's head and like hits him with the staples?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know.
I liked it better when it was done more casually, like in the very first episode, like that
Yeah.
opening sequence
Yeah.
where it's like, "This is what you're watching." Oh no, it's not. This is our actual show. And then she's like, the meta in the is it her dream sequence? I guess in the very beginning.
Yeah, it's a dream.
Yeah.
I like the meta in that where she's like,
That was a
like,
perfect amount.
but I'm a magical girl and this is a magical girl show, so there's no way that I would ever lose. Stuff like that. I don't really like the. Sometimes I could like the layered meta where it's like this guy, but this time I didn't. I agree. I didn't really.
It was like the behind the scenes of it was like exaggerating
Yeah.
the amount of effort it takes to make a episode. What I did like was I believe the animators like what it's like super animator blah blah blah.
Mhm,
And it's like a guy riding a motorcycle and it's like that. I believe that those animators are actually the people like in the credits.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So it like that's kind of funny.
That is,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's kind of funny that it's sent that way, but it's just so out of place.
Yeah.
Like there was like no build up to it. Like I guess if there was any build up to it, it wouldn't make any sense either.
Mhm,
But just kind of just hitting hard on you, it felt like an OVA. It felt like it should have been an OVA.
Hmm.
Like because it's teased as if it's a Hot Springs episode. At the end of the fourth episode, it goes Hot Springs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
There's a bits and pieces of Saki and her friend going to the hot spring, where you don't see anything, you just hear them talking about it, like during the eye catchers.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if they made an OVA going like it's gonna be a hot springs OVA, and then this came out, I thought that'd be funny.
Yeah.
But this just dropping down after like 4 episodes of actual plot, this was kind of just jarring and kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's out of place. Poor timing.
One part I did think was funny, though, is because after working all super hard to try and kill this monster with this episode of an anime, the magical girls show up and, like, one-hit KO it.
Yeah.
And then it's just over.
Yeah.
Very, very anime. I like that because it's very anime trope. Like they really take a lot of anime tropes in this anime, and I love it when something feels like it's so aware of what it is, like so it's referencing its own genre really well. And this anime is fantastic with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very interesting show as it continues to go on.
Mhm.
I don't know my honest feelings for it yet, but as we continue to watch it, let's say, like, to put it this way, episodes 1 and 2 of the show I thought were really high moments,
Yeah.
and then like 3 kind of fell off,
3 was okay.
and then I liked 4, and then 5 was just like a really big drop for me. Like,
yeah.
so far this hasn't been consistently good. Like, for like Killing Bites for me had been consistently good.
I think 1, 2, and 3 are really good. 4 and 5 not as good though.
Maybe the
I can agree
pace.
there.
So I guess maybe the pacing is just off. Maybe that's what it is. Because I feel like episode 3 was all comedy. You know, they did practically it was all backstory. You know, and I mean episode 4 more so just more in depth on our cyborg friend. So I mean I'd say pacing more so. Maybe pacing is just off. So.
That's another thing. We just met the cyborg character, and then we have a whole episode dedicated to him and like his brothers.
Right, which is weird.
It was ridiculous though. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the dialogue between them. Yeah, it was like
I loved it when
3, 4, 5, 6.
Every time it cut to another one, it would show I guess this was just for translation's sake. I don't know if this was supposed to be an actual joke, but it would cut to like what it said on his shirt, right? It was like Fujitomo or whatever his last name was, and it would cut to the next one and be like Fujitomo. So then 1 Fujitomo, 2 Fujitomo. I loved it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still elements of that, you know, of comedy like that. I think that they do fairly well. It's just that I agree with Jake. I think the pacing is just a little off. So.
Well, we're almost halfway through with it, so we'll see how it continues on.
Yeah,
but yeah, just for me, it's for the first time I think ever on this show, on this podcast, the bad anime that we were supposed to watch outdid the currently airing anime.
I agree. This is still, don't get me wrong, this is still one that I would totally recommend. I think that people should be watching it with us. I think that people should be consistently watching it.
It's possible that these are just weaker episodes.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
My Girlfriend is a Show Bitch had some really weak episodes too.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
it happens.
Most animes do. I mean, look at Fate Zero, and you know.
I was gonna say not every anime has a perfect episode series.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm. Let's just say for me, the hype of Magical Girl Ore is kind of slowing down.
Hitting the limelight, huh?
Okay.
It's but I'm still planning on watching all of it. I mean, I have to, but I mean, it's just like I was really hyped for it when it started. To be fair, though, the other Magical Girl show I'm watching, Magical Girl Sight, also kind of same, where my hype for it's kind of slowing down. I think though it's because other shows are stepping it up, like. My Hero Academia this season is fantastic. It's good.
No,
I'm not a spoiler guy, and to plug my own shit here, Uma Musume Pretty Derby is fucking amazing, and that needs more views. People need to watch that fucking show. Horse Girls Racing. All right. Anything else you guys want to say about Magical Girl Ore?
Keep it up. Watch it with us. Tell us why you like it or don't like it.
All right.
Tell me who you think the hottest boy is, and also the hottest girl.
I think Saki's friend for both.
Could be both. Yeah.
Saki's
Could
friend
be the same. Could be the same character for both.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and end spoilers now. All right. Welcome back. If you've skipped the Magical Girl Ore portion of the podcast, So at the end of the podcast, we like to announce the next anime we are watching. And so I'm going to do something a little different here. Normally, I kind of just shout out what we're going to watch. But this time, I'm going to give Anthony and DJ a choice.
Oh, no.
And if
pick the
it's
fucking good one, please.
and if it's split down the middle, I'm going to pick the one with the worst Mal score. So
I won't pull up Mal right now. Hands above your
All right.
keyboard, DJ.
All
I
right.
don't even know what Mal is.
Get your hands above your keyboard.
All right.
Jerking off down here.
The first anime is Manyu Haikenchou. This is a story. This anime is about. I'm just going to go very vague on them because I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
This anime is about anime ninja girls.
Okay.
The next show is Juni Taisen, and this is a battle royale anime.
Okay, Anthony, I want to go Ninja Girls, but one time I played this game about Ninja Girls called Sakura Spirit, and it was really fucking bad.
It wasn't.
I'm going with
It also wasn't a game.
I'm going with the Juni Taisen. That's what I'm gonna do.
Anthony's going Juni Taisen. DJ,
What does that mean?
that's the battle royale one. That's the second.
All right, I
option.
go Ninja Girls.
And DJ goes Ninja Girls.
You knew it had to happen. You knew it had to happen.
We're gonna watch both. So this is just which one we're watching first.
Oh, okay.
So the anime with the Mal score of 6.3. We are watching Manyu Haikenchou.
Oh no!
Ninja Girls.
Oh no!
Right, I can take it.
Heads up, guys. Look for the uncensored version of the show.
Oh.
It's an
Ooh,
etching.
baby.
Anthony's gonna hate it.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, I picked the right apple.
Oh.
Fucking- just fucking Google, just image search it. Anthony, you're gonna be
No.
horrified.
No. I don't typically do any research before I start watching, so I'm not going
Alright.
to do it again.
Okay. So, Manyu Haikenchou is the anime that we will be watching for next podcast, and we will continue watching Magical Girl Ore and talking about episodes 6 and 7. If you like what we do here, like this video and subscribe, and check out some of our other content. And Anthony, where can they find us?
You can find us over on our Twitters, or you can tweet at us down in the links below. Also,
Tim,
just like Jake said, subscribe
I
to our
asked
channel.
you last time, DJ, and you responded with the darkest alleys,
Yeah.
the darkest cities. And then me and
then you
Anthony
asked
waited, and you never told us.
Yeah,
that you
no,
never
you
said
never
the Twitter
corrected
stuff.
it. You never
So
corrected
that's
it.
how come I let Anthony say it.
All I remember is Anthony answering the question for real. I did not remember that I said that thing.
Every time I've asked you to do a part,
I need to do it.
You have not stepped up to the.
Yeah,
you have not
I
stepped
do
up.
it.
Where can you find us? You can find us out in dumpster.
I don't know.
Get some
And
tasty
search for
morsels.
that tasty
So we
morsel.
could,
Oh
so
my
we could,
gosh.
you know, because we need them to live. You know, we need to eat. The family's
Well,
got to eat. So you got to
DJ,
find
what's
the
our
tasty
rating
morsels.
Yummy, yummy in my tummy.
Or ew, gross. I'm
Our
gonna
rating
eat that
system
again.
is yum yum. Okay, and no no no.
No. Send it back to the kitchen. This
No,
is
no.
anime food buffet.
This is anime food buffet.
Ooh, how long has that quiche been out? Ugh. Next.
This is anime fridge. It's cleaning.
This anime, we opened up, we smelt it, we said mm-mm, and dumped it in the trash.
Too old.
All right, thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you, Mom.